Congratulations to Cardinals outfielder Jordan Walker, winner of Monday's Home Run Derby. He hit 6 bombs to beat Kyle Schwarber in the final. Also cool, the $1 million he won from the Derby is more than his entire 2026 salary. Tonight at 5 p.m. on Seattle Sports, the AL takes on the NL in the All-Star Game.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Bump, we're happy to have you back, and I have a lot of questions for you about the sale of the Seattle Seahawks. There hasn't been a new owner for this team since 1997.
Dang.
We have a lot of questions. I think people have some concerns, some fears. Some people are very, I don't want to say excited. The Allen family and the Allen Foundation was a fantastic ownership group and an owner to have, but I think there are people that like the sound of the new owners. So I'm going to start by just asking you what your reaction is. We haven't had a chance to talk to you at all because you were gone golfing. What were you doing?
I was golfing. What else do I do?
I know. I shouldn't even ask.
What else I do?
You were golfing.
No, it was interesting because I didn't know anything about the family, honestly. I'm looking up. I'm reading about them. A tech family. Very smart. It seems like they have their family position lined up to take this thing over. My first reaction was I thought about the people who are already at or part of the organization, right? How does that affect them? You know, the NASA Chobies, who's my executive producer, Brian O'Connell, Pearson, people in that building who have been around for a long time. Like, how does that affect them? That's the first thing I thought about. Then the second thing I thought about was, can you just be an owner? Just be an owner, right? Don't be a football guy or football girl. Just be an owner. Don't mess with anything that's going on because Mike and John have created something special over there. And then I'm just like, all right, I'm just glad it's over with now. I saw Chuck yesterday at a golf tournament, Chuck Arnold, who was the president, and he felt good about it. He was happy. He said, it's a great family. I'm excited. So he kind of put me at ease a bit. I'm like, all right, well, Chuck, if you're good, then I'm going to be good, and let's just see what they do.
I agree with that hands-off approach. I was reading, I mean, you should never read the comments anywhere, but Adam Schefter, one of the many tweets that he posted about this sale was about Niru, who is the mother of Neil, who is going to be the kind of like is going to have decision-making power, is going to be like the named main owner here. And someone was like, well, what does she know about ball? And I was thinking, I would prefer if the owner didn't assume they knew anything about football. There's not a single owner in a professional league. Well, I should take this back. There are probably very, very few owners around football, the NBA, wherever, who know more than a scouting department or a GM. I don't want someone who knows ball. I don't want someone that thinks I'm going to finagle this roster and make it like my fantasy football team and I'm going to tell you how we should be running things.
Right.
I want someone who knows how to sniff out when someone has their head right, everyone's on the right page, how to recognize a good culture versus a non-productive culture. That's the skills that I would want with an owner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone that doesn't feel too much pressure to change when they believe in something. Someone who also is unafraid to make a change when it's necessary. Like, those are difficult things to have as skills. It's what got them to where they were most of the time as billionaires. That's what I want in an owner. And someone who knows that in this case you can just, like you said, leave it alone. I don't need someone who knows anything about football.
Yeah, I want someone who is invested in the product. And the product is obviously the players, right? Taking care of them, making sure that and it's basic stuff, but it's still stuff I think about. Like, all right, what's the food going to be like? You switching up the food? What's the travel going to be like? Are you going cheap on the travel? The accommodations when you're on the road. Those are the things that I think about when I think of a new ownership is, where are you going to cut corners, or are you going to cut corners, or are you going to enhance the experience there? What about Virginia Mason Athletic Center? It looks great, but it's 20-something years old now. Maybe there's some upgrades you can have there. Didn't we do – there was a grades, and they graded the Seahawks weight room like one of the worst in the league. Granted, I've been in that weight room. Looks fine to me. But obviously I haven't been to many facilities. So how are you going to upgrade there? What's Luma going to look like? How are you going to enhance the experience for the fans there? That's the stuff that I feel like the owners should really hone in. When it comes to football stuff, don't touch it. Let Mike
Leave
and
it alone.
John do what they've been doing.
All right, let's take a listen to what some experts around the league have had to say about the new ownership group. This is from Mike Garafolo on with NFL Insiders, and I know that one thing people were a little bit concerned about is, oh, well, it's not a local family and it's not a local person, and that's since '97, you had someone who was from here, and later a family that was from here and based here overseeing things. So there's a little bit of worry about that. Will it be a culture fit?
So as much as I'm talking about the money here, it's about more than just the money. And I've heard this said repeatedly. Owning an NFL team is like joining a country club. You can have the money, but do you get approved? And are you selected to be part of this whole crew here? And I think the big reason here, or the big point I should make here, is that this is a team that has a certain culture. And the belief is that this new ownership group, based on the estate of Paul Allen, believes that this group is going to match that culture that they have in Seattle. Is going to be excellent with regard to communicating and being a part of this fan base.
So it was a culture fit. It was important for the Allen Foundation, for Jody Allen, to find that culture fit.
Yeah, I think that's important. Culture is everything, man. Culture is the feeling you get when you walk into the building, how people interact with each other. Do you fit into the Northwest? So I think that's big. And I'm happy that that's what they led with, too. I also heard that the family was actually at a couple practices or something. Like, they've been around. They've been having conversations of, it's not just a let me help them buy this, like a project or something for them. It's like, no, I really want to believe in what I'm doing. So things that I'm hearing when it comes to that, that's good. But we shall see. Time will tell. And I'm just glad that it's over with. So now the adjustments that are going to be made can happen fairly quickly. Mm-hmm. I was talking to my buddy this morning on the way to work. He's like, man, you ready? I'm like, for what? He's like, don't camp start like in a week or two? I'm like, damn, you're right, man. It's going to happen pretty fast. So whatever chances are going to be made, hopefully it's done with the people who are in the building already in mind. Because, there's so many good people over there. Mario Bailey, Paul Johnson. There are so many good people in that building. I just hope that they feel noticed and appreciated.
I agree. Absolutely agree. I think that one fear that I always have is that someone's going to be almost too cutthroat.
Yeah.
They're going to treat it like it's a private equity firm, and they're going to come in. I don't think that's happening here, but like that someone's going to come in and they're going to think that, like, I know how to do this. This is how I want to do things, and completely uproot a culture that's been pretty steady and really successful. One of the most successful in the NFL. And that would be a shame, because it doesn't need to be uprooted.
No.
It's a great culture. One of my lingering questions is kind of what the family structure looks like, with three main people we're talking about. And one of them is Neil, who's the son. And while we've talked a lot about Niru, Neil, it sounds like, this is interesting to me, from Albert Breer and MMQB, could be like the day-to-day guy.
He was sort of the day-to-day contact for the Niners. Neil was. He's a younger guy. He's really sharp. And years and years and years ago, they live in the Bay Area. He actually interned in the Niners football operations department, worked on the salary cap. So he's got good background in football. I think the intention's probably to make this similar to Terry and Kim Pagula in Buffalo when they bought the team.
Yeah.
Make this hey, this is going to be run by the family. But it feels to me a little bit like Neil is going to be the one that's going to be sort of the hands-on owner.
So that, to me, is probably the person we're going to be talking about more than anyone else. Neil.
Yeah. And what I do like about the situation is that Neil is coming from an organization that I respect. I know we don't like the Niners. I know we don't pub them or anything, but we see that they've been one of the more successful franchises over the past decade, I would say. So hopefully some of the things that he learned over there while interning will come over here. But he's pretty young too. What were you saying?
Curtis's age. He's like 30. I think he's
like
under
34,
35.
yeah.
He's in his early 30s, I think. I don't know.
That's
exactly,
the direction the NFL is going. It's younger and younger and younger, which I have no problem with it. I think young people bring new ideas.
Yeah.
I think they're energetic. They're at a moment of their life where they can put in the work. I remember, it was so long ago when I was 34, 35, right? legit, the energy I had at 34, 35 was crazy compared to the energy I have now at only 40. I can still go, but at that age, I'd be up all night, grinding, working, up early. Like, the energy is just different. So I think there are some positives when it comes to that.
I think, again, and I will continue to say this, I don't know anything about this family. I think it's really encouraging that everything we hear is really positive. I think that's really encouraging. There aren't like stories of like, oh, they were horrible owners for this team and they sold off this team and fired the head coach and did all this stuff. I think that's really encouraging that that's not stories that are following them or things that you're going to find. My fear when families run things, and I think will be in the back of my mind, and one I don't think will happen here, but I wonder if I'm trying to say for anyone who feels this, I'm like, I get it, I understand that, is when you look at ownerships that are by families across the league, sometimes you do have people that just kind of like, I want things my way.
Yeah.
And they've grown up having things their way, and there's impatience and there's just, I think, a frustrating decision making, and I don't think the Seahawks are going to fall into that group, but I do want to say I know that fear is out there. I'm just acknowledging the fear people have when an ownership group transitions from something like Paul Allen, a local overseeing it, to a family who's not from Washington. Like, I understand the fear people have, but I think they sound really encouraging.
That might bring, I understand the fear, but also you can look at it from the other end and say, well, this is just refreshing. They're not from the area. You know, it might bring new ideas, new ways to view things. So, yeah, I get the fear, but I also believe that Jody wouldn't set this organization up for failure and her team. I'm sure it wasn't just her making the decision. She had the final say. But I don't think her and her squad or her camp make irrational decisions. This was something that they sat down, thought about, talked about the future, and think that this is the right group to take us there. So we shall see, though, man. Here's the one thing we know. You got a dang good football team that you just bought. And the Lumen Field will be filled up, sold out. You will make money. It will be profitable. And you have great leadership as well. So let's just hope it all blends.
I'm sorry. The text line, completely unrelated to any of this. Multiple people. Stacy, we heard you went golfing and Bump was at the mall.
So B-Walt and I on Friday.
Why are so many people telling me I went on a golf trip?
That wouldn't it be funny if it was a Freaky Friday situation where Bump was at the mall and Stacy was out golfing?
I don't go to the mall. I have
you
hobbies.
Go to the mall.
I have
it's hobbies.
I do other things.
You've literally missed a show because you've been at the mall. That's a thing that's literally happened.
I didn't miss a show because I was at the mall. I had a day off and
You went to the mall.
Went shopping.
You were at the mall when the Bump and Stacy Open was playing.
So, I think we're singling me out, and I don't appreciate it. And what's wrong with the mall? If Bump wanted to go to the mall, it's a great place to be.
We just thought, how funny would it be if
nightmare.
Stacy was the one out golfing on Friday and Bump was at the mall?
Can you imagine? Why didn't they ask me
mall
to join
is
this
my
tournament, by the way?
nightmare.
Have you ever been asked by anyone like, oh, you and Stacy, we should do a golfing tournament? No. Have you declined on my behalf?
No one's. You don't. When do you talk? Every time I talk about golf, you roll your eyes. You try to get
Stacey
through it as fast as I can. You know, no, they never ask you.
I like being included.
They ask about you.
Yeah.
Oh, how's Stacy doing?
Oh, that's
They
sweet.
don't ask you to ask me to bring you to the tournament.
I like being included.
But they ask about you.
Yeah.
Stacy just wants the opportunity to decline.
That's what it is. I don't want to ever play golf with anyone. I would like everyone who sees Bump to be like, oh, you and Stacy want to join us? Play golf here. It'll be great. It'll be fun.
Well, she's busy.
Coming up at 10:30, ESPN's Brady Henderson has a column really interesting where he looked at the Seahawks by position group to decide whether they were better or worse than last season. So I'm going to go through and tell you what he said, and we're going to decide whether or not we actually agree that the Seahawks
There's no
team.
same, just better or worse. No, nothing in the middle. Better, worse, same.
I think better or worse is just more interesting.
Yeah, it is. But,
Yeah.
All right.
We just have to decide. Coming up at 10:45, I'm wondering what can and can't be fixed over an all-star break when it comes to the Mariners. Getting back to Seahawks ownership at 11 with Andrew Brandt. Before we get to any of that, let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, rewrite! Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, crazy finish in the home run derby last night. St. Louis's Jordan Walker stunned the Philly crowd with 6 home runs in his final 6 swings to win it. Here's how that sounded.
One more to tie, 2 to win it. We are tied. Jordan Walker can upend the whole thing with a home run right here. Wow. Is that enough? Jordan Walker wins it.
One of the craziest home run derbies of all time.
A homer on each of his last 6 swings.
What's the real headline?
The most impressive thing about this is actually how hard it is to shut Philly fans up. So good job, Jordan Walker, for doing that, too, because the home crowd was going crazy for Bryce Harper, for Kyle Schwarber. And did you hear that they booed a kid in the outfield?
Good.
I like the new format. I think it applies pressure. I like that the fans can get into it. They're booing Jordan. And he was so composed, though, man. Like, just watching his demeanor when he's in the batter's box and then finally letting it out when it was all said and done. Love watching his mom and his dad get hyped. That was one of the more fun home run derbies to watch.
Absolutely. I think what I also really love about it is that the $1 million that Jordan Walker won is more than his entire salary in 2026.
That's
and
crazy.
I also really like what he said about, so I don't have the exact quote, but he talked about how important it was for him, for especially younger black athletes, to see him play, and that he'd like to see more young black people get into baseball, which has been kind of like a conversation floating under the surface with baseball for a long while.
Yeah, typically if you black, you probably Dominican in MLB. It's I didn't have. Luckily, in my group of friends, like my 5 group of friends growing up, 3 of them were seriously into baseball. But it's rare. You don't get too many black Americans out there, so it was cool to see him represent for sure.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, France meets Spain today in the World Cup final or World Cup semifinal. Spot in line in the World Cup finals on the line. What's the real headline?
In NFL terms, this is the 2025 NFC Championship game.
Pretty much. Yeah.
2 powerhouses.
Seahawks, Rams.
Yeah.
You got Jamal over there, youngster, number 18-year-old from Spain. You got Mbappe, France. This is probably it. I would love to see England on the other side get through as well.
I can't tell if we're being disrespectful to Argentina, but
Argentina, I mean, it seems like, no, let's not get it twisted. Argentina's nice. And they got FIFA on their side. It feels like
more
FIFA
like Vargentina. That's what they've been calling them.
oh, that's a good headline.
They want Messi to win another one and go
We'll
out
save
on
that
top.
for tomorrow.
Yeah, back
It
pocket.
sounds it's a great story for them, but I think the better team is probably France, but I do know that FIFA is definitely endorsing Argentina.
Is this just barreling towards it being France again? They're unstoppable.
Oh, listen, you got FIFA. FIFA has Argentina's back.
Why would FIFA? I know Messi, but Mbappe's also a star.
Yeah, but he's not Messi. He's not the GOAT.
But he's the future of it. Not the GOAT right now, but like, don't you want part of it to be like, we're gonna lift up this person that's gonna be the face?
FIFA wants Messi to win again.
Maybe it'll be Argentina.
You should look at the calls too. Like if you look at the games Argentina plays in and the fouls that are called, like it's crazy how favorable the calls are when it comes to Argentina. It's a topic. It feels like corruption going on right now with
FIFA?
With the World Cup. Yeah,
No,
not them, right?
No.
Yeah. So it's I think France is probably the more talented team overall. Argentina feels destined because of Messi and because of FIFA.
You said corruption?
Corruption is not bad. Corruption is only bad if I'm not involved.
Yes.
But if I'm part of that corruption, I'll defend it.
Beautiful. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, the American League takes on the National League in tonight's All-Star game. What's the real headline?
In NFL terms, this is the Pro Bowl.
You got to dumb it down, huh?
God, the American League and National League have such a massive gap this year. Also kind of a bummer, Curtis pointed this out. There's not much of an incentive for a Mariners fan to like watch the same way that we all did last year, because how much is Randy gonna play?
Right, because you had Wu, you had Cal last year. Even Randy played in the game.
Year, yeah.
This year, Randy's hurt, so I don't even know if he's going to get in the game tonight. And if he does, he's probably going to be in just a pinch hitter.
Yeah, MLB All-Star Game is the All-Star game that resembles real, like, the real game more than any sport. Basketball, they don't play any defense. Football's flag now. NHL, you're not going to hit and take care of each other. But baseball all-star game, yeah, it resembles real baseball, so I look forward to that.
Do you think the WBC should be in the middle of the season?
I don't know if you can do it every year.
No.
But I would love to see it in the middle of the season.
I mean, hockey takes a break from
That's what I was
Olympics,
wondering.
right?
Well, I was wondering about the what did the NHL just do?
They had like a 3-week pause in their schedule in February.
For the 4 countries.
Thank you.
The 4 of them.
The 4 of them.
4 nations.
4 nations.
There you go.
I was like,
There
I
we
know
go
it's not
for it.
called 4 countries. I'm sorry, NHL fans are screaming at me. I just wonder. People see it as an excuse, but there were a lot of players around the league that were kind of set back by diving into WBC, really competitive play before they were clearly ready and had polished up their swings. And Cal's not the only person to have kind of a weird year. I just wonder, would it be even better if it was mid-season when everyone's kind of in a groove? What would it look like?
I like the mid-season or in-season deal. I like it. I like the break. You focus on something else.
Yeah.
I'm with that for sure.
I will let you know if someone is saying FIFA doesn't want Argentina.
Oh, they're so mad. Total crap. All right, you can have your opinion. That's fine. But you look at the fouls that are called. Go read a few articles too, man. Like it's becoming a thing. And why wouldn't you want Messi to go out on top?
Exactly. It's not about Messi not playing in Europe anymore. It's about, this person said he doesn't even play in Europe anymore. But I don't think that FIFA has their eyes on that. Messi is the biggest draw of this tournament, period.
This is last one. This is last one. It's 39.
I saw a kid in an Argentina jersey just walking down the street in Green Lake. Like, there are so many. Messi's a brand. And yeah, there's definitely still.
In basketball terms, Messi is LeBron.
Messi is LeBron. Or is he Jordan?
Probably LeBron because of longevity. He's 39.
I feel like Pele might be Jordan.
Yeah, it's much better. Yeah, I take it back. That's a much better comparison. Coming up next, ESPN's Brady Henderson looked at how the Seahawks got better or worse from last season by position group. We're going to go over it and figure out whether or not we agree.
Corruption is not bad. Corruption is only bad if I'm not involved.
Yes.
But if I'm part of that corruption, I'll defend it.
30 years ago,
I wanted to be part of keeping the Seahawks in Seattle long term.
3 decades later,
12, they're bringing the trophy home.
2 Super Bowl championship banners hang in the stadium Paul Allen built. Now, a new era of stewardship begins.
Most things that seem impossible become possible.
And we welcome the Kosla family to Seattle. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Klein Jewelers is all about celebrating big anniversaries. What's a big anniversary? Year 1, year 5, year 25. If you forgot about it, you'll find out just how big it is. No matter the year, Klein Jewelers is here to help you celebrate with something beautiful. Maybe it's a 3-stone ring that honors your past, present, and future. Maybe it's a new band to stack or the diamond upgrade you've been dreaming about. And while we love anniversaries, we're here for all life's special moments too. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. Your jeweler for life.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Not all roofs are created equal, and not all warranties are either. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Right now, take advantage of free lifetime Golden Pledge warranties on all GAF shingle installations and save up to $3,000 or choose 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Summertime savings won't last forever. Protect your home with a roof you can count on for decades. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
When you buy a new vehicle from Lee Johnson, you'll get a lifetime powertrain warranty included.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Mike Salk here, and summer's here at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. You can check out upcoming shows like the Pop 2000 Tour with Chris Kirkpatrick of NSYNC, O-Town, Ryan Cabrera, and LFO on August 1st, or relive the 80s with pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th. You can find tickets at snocasino.com and the full lineup, plus experience luxury with breathtaking Cascade views, world-class dining, and play your favorite games. Elevate your next getaway. That's Seattle's closest, Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
No hot water at 6 a.m. is no way to start your week. The Fast Water Heater Company has been the one to call in Seattle since 1986. And now, as part of Fast Home Services, they're making it even easier. Dave Wyman here. Get $200 off a new tank water heater or $400 off a tankless installation. Call 1-800-THINK-FAST to book your free in-home estimate or visit fasthomeservices.com for a virtual quote in seconds for water heaters, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical services.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I lied to you.
You lied?
Yeah. So
It's not nice.
when I talked about this feature from Brady Henderson of ESPN, I said he looked at what got better or worse from last season. And you said, so there's no option to stay the same? I can't vote stay the same? And I said, nope, you have to choose one or the other. So in Brady's column, he said, what's better, worse, or the same?
There we go.
So there is
I was
an
about to say,
option.
there has to be a middle ground somewhere.
There is an option here. I lied to you. Stay the same is a choice that you can make and agree
Stacey's
with.
mind went to the classic radio mindset
It has to
of
be
like,
either
you have
or.
to have a take.
Well, you know what it is too, is I'm always like, I hate meekness. You have to say yes or no. So I lied. You can choose same. And I will tell you what Brady said. So Here's what I like to do here. We're going to go through the position groups. I'll tell you what Brady said. Tell me if you agree. And then about halfway through, we'll step back and we'll take a bigger look at the team and kind of, are they poised to repeat as contenders? So, quarterback, Brady said no notable subtractions or additions. Better, worse, or the same. He voted same.
I'm going to say better.
Oh.
Because Sam has another year. He back-to-back 14 win seasons. He's a Super Bowl champion. I think that with a new offensive coordinator, he might even have more influence over the offense. And I still think he can get better. I think there's another place he can go when it comes to quarterback play. So it's the same when you look at it on paper to me, but Sam's play, I think, can be better.
I like it. Okay, running back.
Oh, he hella bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
No. But Brady's with you. He said, look, you lost Walker. That is pretty notable. That's your most notable subtraction, one of the most notable this year on the team. Additions, obviously, Jadarian Price. You signed Emmanuel Williams to a one-year, $1.5 million deal. But it's hard not to feel that they are worse. He said Wilson gives Seattle a big back who can replicate Charbonnet's power running. George Halani obviously is here as a good blocker. It's going to factor into the mix, but none of their options right now possess Ken Walker's explosiveness, which we know to be true. Statistically, last year he was third in broken tackles, missed tackles among ball carriers.
You just don't know with this group. You don't know if Jadarian's going to hit the ground running. I think he can. You don't know what Charbonnet's going to look like when he's healthy, he comes back. You don't know what Kenny McIntosh is going to look like. He's trying to get healthy. You don't know if George Halani can handle 20 to 25 carries. It's nothing against their ability. It's just that we just haven't seen them go to work like that. So I think he's right. It's worse because you lose K9. Guys aren't healthy. They're worse with the potential to be not better, but serviceable. And I think that's what you need out of this group. You have to be a run threat. But, yeah, you lose K9, injuries, it has to be worse.
Wide receiver, better, worse, or the same? Brady said the same. He did add, look, whether it's Rashid Shaheed, Torrey Horton, Cooper Kupp, someone needs to take some burden off JSN. His target share was just absolutely massive, highest of any player, 36% since 2012. So someone's going to need to step up, but he said overall the room is the same.
You know what's crazy about that? I love Brady, obviously.
I don't know that you do.
Yeah, I do.
Because you're about to question him right here.
Play golf with him all the time. Not all the time. I play golf with him. People see JSN having all those targets as a bad thing. It's going to be a good thing. Why? Because defenses are going to try to do things to minimize his impact, and that opens everyone else up, which is better for the team in general. Last year, you just did what you had to do. JSN all day, let's go eat. I still think he'll be an elite receiver in this league, but he's going to get more attention, which is going to open up A.J. Barner. It's going to open up Shaheed, Cooper Kupp. It's a good thing that he went off last year, and he's going to get attention, but I'm with him. It's the same.
Tight end, no subtractions, no additions. It's the same group. So he voted, better, worse, or the same? Same.
See, his thought process is different than mine.
Well, I will say Brady looked a lot at personnel additions and subtractions as opposed to potential, but I like the angle you're taking because it adds another layer.
Because I'm looking at tight end, I'm saying they're going to be better. Personnel-wise, they're the same. Yeah. But I think
it lets us get away from
better.
Copying Brady too much. I like a little twist here on the show because otherwise we're just going, yeah, Brady. No, he's right.
Yeah, because I probably agree with him if I didn't look at it the way that I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
And I think the tight end room is going to be better. We talked about the tight ends a lot last week about how AJ could be a top 5, top 10. I think he's already a top 10 tight end in this league. Maybe get into a top 5. Sauber, one of the better blocking tight ends. Collerup, am I saying his name right? Collerup. A good blocking tight end. We still got Arroyo. Got to wait and see how he adjusts.
I was going to ask, what are we looking for with Arroyo in year 2?
Well,
he's my biggest question.
When he was coming out, he's supposed to be the dynamic tight end, right? You can line him up outside, kind of like, not saying he's that type of player, but Jimmy Graham. You just move Jimmy Graham.
Both Miami grads.
More of a finesse type of tight end. Can block. Don't jump on me, Arroyo. I know you can block, dog. But more of a finesse type of tight end. That's what I'm looking for. And we saw, I think his one touchdown he had this year was against the Cardinals. It was like a back shoulder throw up the seam. You see it in him, but it's just got to be consistent.
Offensive line, Brady said it's better. He looked at the most notable addition, maybe being 5th-round pick Bo Stevens, and also importantly, they're returning so many of the same people. It was Brady who had a feature that we kept mentioning over the last several years where he looked at how many different centers they'd had over how many of the past few seasons, and he was keeping a running list. I forget where it ended up being before they were just sticking with Sundell, but like bringing back the same faces, massive. Do you agree with Brady that it will be better?
I do. I'm hoping that 2 years in a row these guys hit when it comes to rookie offensive linemen. If Bo Stevens is able to push Anthony Bradford, even if he doesn't win the job, competition is great. Push Anthony Bradford, maybe we see him later. Then Gray Zabel is going to be better this year. Our tackles are going to be better this year. Sundell is probably the most underrated guy on that line. I saw an article where they were dogging him. And I'm like, are we watching the same film?
Wait, what?
Because, yeah, they were not saying that he's the weakest link on the line. They weren't saying he's a bad player.
Okay.
But I'm like, yeah, he's probably not he's probably the fourth or fifth best lineman that we have, but he's a dang good lineman.
Someone's got to be the fifth best guy.
Someone has to be, right? So put some respect on Sundell's name. I like Sundell.
Defensive line, same. Better, worse, or same?
I'm going to say better. I'm going to say better because I think Byron Murphy is going to take a step forward. I know you lose Boye Mafe off the edge. You got D-Law.
Hold off on Boye because I have another group for you that I want you to talk about him.
All right. Go for it.
Outside linebacker, you said worse.
Yeah, it's worse.
Okay.
Yeah, you lose
Let's
Boye.
just combine those.
Yeah.
And talk about that.
I think of them as one group.
Let's combine them overall, and I want you to tell us how you feel about we'll say front seven.
Yeah, I think interior defensive linemen are going to be better because Byron's going to grow and be a Pro Bowl, All-Pro type of player, in my opinion. I think on the edge, you lose Boye Mafe. You need Derek Hall to step up. He had a decent season last year, but you need him to step up. So if I combine those two groups, then I'm going to say worse just because of the edge.
Edge is kind of like a little bit. I don't think it's certainly nothing on defense I think is like an actual weakness, but I like the way Brady described it, where he said, you've talked about this too, that like the Seahawks chose a contract and not a player. He said, Mafe's departure doesn't feel as big a blow as the contract he got from Cincy would suggest.
Yeah.
That said, Brady doesn't say it like this. It's just kind of how I feel about it. The pieces that you're kind of counting on are also a little bit older. Like, is DeMarcus Lawrence going to give you this year what he could give you last year? Uzuchenna Nwosu, who's dealt with a few injuries. He's a dog, right? Got that dog in him for sure. But, like, he's been dealing with injuries on and off. Is he going to be able to give you that? It's not that Boye, like, you lost a superstar, really likable guy, but you didn't lose a superstar, but you did lose a piece of a group that depended heavily on like a good rotation of guys. And like that rotation and being able to cycle guys out matters.
Yeah. It's and what's good about that group is, like you mentioned, is rotation, is being able to have a guy go 20, 25 plays, rest, rotate them in, use their skill set according to whatever offensive line you're going up against. You lose something with Boye, but you're exactly right. It's just the contract. And the text lines are blowing up saying Fowler. I've seen Fowler. I think that obviously Boye has a higher ceiling because he's younger, right? Fowler a little long in the tooth. If he could give you 5 or 6 sacks and just control that edge this year, I think that's a win.
Okay, so I combined linebacker groups, defensive line to talk front seven. I'm going to jump to safety and cornerback to wrap this up. Safety, worse. Cornerback, same.
You did get worse. I think Kobe Bryant is probably better than Ty Okada. I think Ty Okada is a very good safety, though, who can get it done. But you're waiting on Bud Clark to see what he can do. And at the other corner spot, when's Julian Neal going to crack the starting lineup? Or is he going to crack the starting lineup? But you still got Job over there. You still got Spoon. It's they got worse, but I think that by week 3 or 4, we could be sitting here saying they got better.
Coming up in 20 minutes, we got a lot of questions about what new ownership brings the Seahawks. Andrew Brandt's joining us. Before we get to that, when it comes to the Mariners, there's a few things we want to see fixed, but what can and can't get done over the All-Star break? That's next.
30 years ago,
I wanted to be part of keeping the Seahawks in Seattle long term.
3 decades later,
12, they're bringing the trophy home.
2 Super Bowl championship banners hang in the stadium Paul Allen built. Now, a new era of stewardship begins.
Most things that seem impossible become possible.
And we welcome the Kosla family to Seattle. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
It's If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
After years of wear and tear, Joe had osteoarthritis in his wrists and shoulders.
I've pretty much worked out my whole life. I actually decided I'm going to train for a half Ironman triathlon.
The pain was interfering with every part of his life.
Basically, can't sleep, causing those kind of problems, very limited movement.
Joe had surgery, but it wasn't the fix he was looking for.
The doctor told me, he's like, hey, this is just going to be a partial fix. You're going to eventually need joint replacement.
That's when he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
And they're just getting better. I can basically do full motion. I don't have really any pain.
What kinds of things are you able to do now that you weren't before?
I like to golf, and it definitely has made my golf game not as painful. And sleeping. I'm sleeping better because I don't have that aching at night going on and having to roll over.
So, are you recommending this to others?
Oh, everybody I talk to. Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Dan. Dan, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
I had the same insurance company for 30 years and just accepted all the premium increases as inflation or feeling tethered to them because I have earthquake coverage and was uncertain about being able to get that anywhere else. But when I talked to Ken at First Mark, wow, he came back with bigger umbrella policy, better earthquake coverage, which I didn't think was possible. And when he came down with the premium number, it was a no-brainer. We were saving over $2,500 a year. Don't wait, because it's annoying to think of what I could have done with that money over the last 10 years had I done something sooner.
Well, Dan did it. My family did it. You got to do it, and it's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge today. See how much money they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be the next First Mark Challenge victory that I get to talk to as well. Simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com, firstmarkinsurance.com.
If it's blocking your view, keeping your yard dark or shaded, or impossible to mow around, get rid of that tree or stump this summer with P&D Tree Service. They'll do it safely and quickly, cleaning up your yard in the process. P&D Tree turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. One tree or land clearing, they have the tools and expertise for the job. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever seen a tree removed by crane? PndTreeService.com.
And the Seahawks are going back to the Super Bowl.
Home of the Seahawks in Super Bowl 60. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
The sounds of summer. They're great until they're not. Luckily, AutoZone has free battery testing and charging.
Let me check that for you.
To help make a rough moment smooth. Don't miss the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone. Free products with select deals until July 27th. And free services every day. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
It's summertime and the living is easy. If you're like me, you're spending nights on the patio listening to the game and enjoying what makes our area so beautiful. Dave Wyman here, and I have just the offer for you to get the most out of your outdoor living space. $500 off each window, $750 off patio and entry doors, and $200 off the final project. I've loved working with Harley Exteriors. They're a local company right here in Bothell, down-to-earth people who enjoyed the same things we all do, rooting on our local teams and doing the best job we possibly can day in and day out. Use Harley Exteriors to complete your home space and receive 12 or 18-month promotional financing.
Qualified buyers only. Subject to credit approval and lender terms. Minimum purchase of 4 qualifying windows required. Windows must be 36 by 36 inches or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to approved credit. Offers cannot be combined with other promotions. Offer expires July 31st, 2026.
Go to HarleyExteriors.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Last year, Julio Rodriguez was having a tough summer, declined his invitation to go to the All-Star game. And then, something clicked in the second half. Now, we'd seen second half Julio before. It certainly wasn't the first one, but it certainly felt as though over the All-Star break and then shortly afterward, and then kind of starting with that series in Atlanta, Julio just turned on. And something really magic happened. And then this team ended up going on, obviously, quite a run. When it comes to this year's Mariners, there are quite a few things we'd like to see fixed. I don't know that an All-Star break can flip the switch for all of these things. So I want to try to figure out what things we can fairly expect to improve or hope, and then what things are like, hey, this just might be how it is. So, for instance, yesterday I was asking Curtis what he was seeing from Cal, and he said his swing's just not the same. Not the same swing as he had before. And I said, and Curtis, I'll ask you again here as we get this started. I said, well, can you fix a swing in a week?
It's not so easy.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you've got to break it down over the course of weeks, months, really kind of like an entire off season, and then kind of build it back up. Bump, I use the analogy of like a golf swing, because you're the golfer among us, and just any slight adjustment can change everything one way good or one way bad. And it feels like Cal is kind of in that spot of just trying to find what it is that has plagued him for the season's first half.
So I'll throw it to you this way. When it comes to Cal, I'll ask you about each of these things. When it comes to Cal, what can and can't you fix?
I don't know if you're fixing, you're tweaking at this point.
Okay.
You can't do anything major. It was messed up about a swing, or where Cal is right now with his swing, is I've been there for 20 years with my golf swing, right? Because I will never be as good as I want to be. Golf is so hard. But mentally, he's searching for feel. He's searching for timing. And that's such a frustrating place, especially when you have felt like euphoria. You've hit 60 bumps. You've been in the zone. Your timing's been on point. And mentally, it's such a tough place to be, because physically, you can do it. Mm-hmm. You know you can do it, but something's off. I think this is more about just getting your mind right. And there's a term that us golfers have, right? When you go to the range before your round, or maybe the day before, you play what you got, right? Sometimes golfers play a draw or a fade, and us amateurs really can't understand why we're playing a draw or a fade at that moment. But that's what I have today. That's what I'm going to play. That's kind of where I would assume Kyle has to be like, this is just who I am right now. So I have to be not okay with it, but put myself in a place mentally where I understand where I'm at and just settle in.
I was going to ask, would you approach the All-Star break as, okay, I'll give my oblique a little bit of rest, because it's certainly not at 100%, I would wager, and then also a mental reset?
I mean, I think you got to swing. I think you have to do something, but I wouldn't go as hard as I would if I were completely healthy, honestly. Yeah. I think, you rest, get that mental right, and get with whoever you trust. And that's the tough part, too. I go on a golf trip every year. I go to Bandon Dunes in Oregon. It's one of the best places I've ever been. And that's the only place I get a caddy, right? And there's this caddy. His name is Dan. And every time I go, I request Dan, because for some reason he knows what to say to me to make me lock in and play the best golf I ever played. Who is that for Cal now? He has to have someone he leans on. Maybe it's his dad. Maybe it's a close friend, but he has to have someone that he leans on that can speak his language to make him lock in and feel the feels again.
All right. I got a couple things written down that we can go over, but I'll just see where you're at first. When it comes to the Mariners, what's something that can or can't be fixed over the All-Star break? Something that we can either fairly expect to change or hope can change, or something where you're like urging people to kind of be cautious?
What can be fixed, was I listening to you on Friday, or was it the Seahawks show? Anyway, what can be fixed is the concentration. I think I was listening to Brock and Salk. Concentration, because I think him and Dooley were talking about, Dooley was saying there needs to be a sense of urgency. And I kind of agree, but then Salk was like, well, what sense of urgency in baseball? He said it's pretty much is more like concentration and focus, not making poor base running decisions, being in the right place as far as your position. Like that's what you can fix. That's what you can lock in. And it's just tapping back into the concentration and focus of the game.
I wonder if I wonder what it looks like to try to tap into that. Is it a team meeting? Is it one-on-one conversations between Dan and other guys? Is it the leaders on the team that have to take a look at themselves? Because I agree with you. Like it feels like what's not in your control is that you're not going to leave the All-Star break and hit a bunch of doubles.
Yeah.
In fact, they were 29th in doubles last season. Mm-hmm. They were just really home run reliant as a club, so they had a lot of slugging because of their home runs. But like, they're not going to suddenly, put up a crooked number all the time. But I think in order to make fewer mistakes, you're absolutely right. Like, it's locking in. I wonder if it's being honest about where you are, being honest about who you are, being honest about what the team needs. Like, I know I've been saying all year, hey, they're in first place. It's a way to just add context to what's a bad American League. It is not a way to excuse that the expectations are much higher. So I would hope that they're honest with themselves about, like, we aren't the team that we want to beat. We're in danger of not making the playoffs in, like, the worst division in baseball. And I feel Cal, in his latest interview with Shannon, sounded like he was acknowledging, like, we're all really disappointed. But yeah. I wonder what kind of, like, what's that look like? Is it a conversation? Is it a meeting? Is it, I don't know.
I don't know. If I were the manager, I'm connecting with all my guys during All-Star break some way. Some guys are texters, some guys are phone, meet in person, whatever, right? Especially my leaders, too. I have to find a way to connect with them and just get back to the foundation, whatever that is, just get back to who this team is or who they can be. That's where Dan comes in. I think this is probably bigger for Dan than it is for the players. I think the players will rest up. I think some will take hacks in the cage. But I think for Dan, it's important that he connects with these guys and find a way to get them to lock back in, because that's the thing that's killed me the most watching these dudes is that this the silly mistakes. I'm like, you're going to get beat sometimes. Sometimes you're going to go up against a pitcher who's just throwing gas and you can't touch him. Sometimes you're going to play a team that's hot. But the little things that you can control, the fundamental things of the game, that's what kills me. So somehow Dan has to find a way to connect and get these guys to lock in.
I like that take a lot. That the All-Star break, for everything I'm sitting here going, maybe Cal can work on his swing, maybe he can't, maybe you work on mentality, guys get a little healthier. I really like that point about, for a lot of players, it's a mental reset. It might matter more to Dan than anyone else, or for Dan than anyone else. Today's pitching matchup brought to you by Eastside Exterminators. Toronto's Dylan Cease takes on Philadelphia's Christopher Sanchez in tonight's All-Star game that starts at 5 p.m. on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up next, Andrew Brandt joins us to talk about what to expect from new Seahawks ownership.
The Seahawks sold
to Vinod Khosla and his family.
What do we know about the new owners?
I like to say failure does not matter. It's success that matters.
You make it yours as an owner, but you still keep what has made this franchise so successful.
Leave it alone. Just give me a clone of Jody Allen and just how she approached it.
We are the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Find everything you need to know at seattlesports.com.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change presents Wisdom from the Road.
Summer means wide open spaces and a whole lot of extra miles. The last place you want your engine to give out is halfway to nowhere. Out here, low oil or a weak battery is just an ambush waiting to happen. That's why every oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change includes an 18-point maintenance check. These techs are trained to help spot issues early and keep you riding easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Change wisely.
Need a heavy lift? Levitt Machinery is now your Taylor lift equipment dealer in Washington and Oregon. Engineered for extreme duty durability, Taylors are designed for demanding environments with uptime built into every machine. When the work is tough, Taylor delivers. And now backed by Levitt Machinery in the Pacific Northwest. LevittMachinery.com. Give us a call today. Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Everyone always asks me, what were your top reasons for choosing Advanced Hair? Well, allow me to share, along with some details, on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. Okay, first off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and I'm living proof those results are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge quality experience that blew away my expectations. And lastly, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. It is quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for that special savings opportunity, well, it's here. Advanced Hair's Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details to schedule your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Longer days, warmer weather, and a stronger you all start at Top Fitness. Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and right now, check out the Top Fitness Big Sale in all 3 of their stores. Every category is on sale. Home gyms, weight plates, dumbbells, treadmills, and stair climbers like I've got. Great deals on display models, too. Have a home gym that needs some help? Get your rubber flooring and all the accessories you need. Get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Thinking about a new roof or exterior upgrade, but worried about the cost? This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We've created our summertime savings event to make it simple and affordable. Save up to $3,000 off your exterior project or get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. And every qualifying GAF roof is backed by our lifetime Golden Pledge warranty. One call gets you started. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new brick you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-505-7844. 800-505-7844. 800-505-7844.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Congratulations to Cardinals outfielder Jordan Walker, winner of Monday's Home Run Derby. He hit 6 consecutive home runs to beat Kyle Schwarber in the final. Also very cool, the $1 million he won from the Derby is more than his entire 2026 salary, so go Jordan. Tonight, the AL takes on the NL in the All-Star Game. Randy Arozarena, the Mariners representative. First pitch at 5 p.m. on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. He is the host of the Business of Sports podcast, a columnist for MMQB, former Packers VP, and also author of a new book, Smarter About Sports, which is out today, by the way. You can order it on Amazon or find it wherever you get your books. It's Andrew Brandt. Andrew, how's it going?
I'm doing well, guys. Thanks for having me on my, like you said, my published date. So
yeah,
my first book. It's a busy day.
I was going to say it's perfect timing because, you know, normally we're always just talking about, tell us about the wide receiver group and just doing kind of deep dives here. But there's so much to cover here. There hasn't been a new ownership group really for Seattle since 1997. You are the perfect guest to be able to ask not just about, you know, a transition with ownership, but also about kind of a changing NFL landscape. So we have a lot of questions. And I'm going to start with just an ownership group. In your own experience, whether it being part of the league or covering it and writing about that experience, with a change of ownership, what are signs of a good partnership and in a good transition?
Well, seamless is the key. You know, when you have change in ownership, you don't want too much change right away. I think there have been a couple of earthquake changes in the past, but they tend to be rare. You know, you have Jerry Jones taking over the Cowboys and firing everybody and installing himself as general manager and his family, and that's going to continue until probably through his great-great-great-grandchildren. But usually you want seamless ownership. You want someone that trusts good people to come in and run things. And first, if not forever, is going to give the chance to the people that are in place to prove themselves. What's unique about out there, obviously, is the height of success, where you have ownership coming in to a group that just won the world championship. So obviously you're not looking for change. You're looking for stability, and you're continuing stability with the people that have been very successful there. I think what people want most in ownership from a fan point of view is resources and staying out of the way. So resources, which seem to be in quite the abundance here, paying the largest money, of course, for any franchise in the NFL by far. And this is just stunning to me, Stacy, because I was covering this 2018 when David Tepper bought the Carolina Panthers for $2.2 billion. We were astounded. We were dumbfounded. 4 years later, the doubling of that, with the Broncos going for 4.4, and then the big one I thought was $6.1 billion to the Commanders, because that was one where I think things changed around the NFL. Talking to owners, they told me that, where we're going to run out of multi-billionaires. You know, this is becoming a different type of ownership. And that same year began the push for private equity, where, for people that don't know, it's really just corporate passive money coming into these franchises to allow for cash, where these passive funds have absolutely 0.00 input on anything football-wise, but are just providing some resources. Now, again, I'm saying all this while you have a new owner that doesn't need those resources, at least not yet.
What's something ownership should change about a team that just won a Super Bowl? We have one of the hottest head coaches in the game right now, good management. Stacey and I have been sitting here talking about what they shouldn't do, like leave football alone. But what's something that good ownership should do?
Well, I think the important thing for people to look at in any business is not short-term. You know, the whole thing is long-term. when I was at the Packers, and that's a completely different experience because we didn't have an owner, but when I was there for 10 years, one of my jobs was really to look past the present. What happens when this CBA expires? What's our projections for cash output, for our team, for our operations? What do the media contracts look like long term? How can I be solidified with my partnership with all the other NFL owners? And not only NFL, but baseball especially, we see a lot of divergence now among the brethren, and that leads to instability. The NFL has probably been the best league of all about one for all for one. We're only as good as our weakest link. I was privy to that firsthand for 10 years, working in the smallest market, not only in the NFL, but in the smallest market in professional sports, where we can not only compete, but thrive in a market of 100,000 people. So ownership needs to be looking fast forward and saying, okay, where are my threats and challenges down the road? Obviously, things look rosy now, but you can't just count on that.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, I'm not quite sure how to frame this question, I'm going to be honest, but you mentioned kind of skyrocketing franchise valuation, and I was thinking it wasn't even that long ago. I was writing about Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers getting paid the most for any quarterback annually, and it was $35 million. So given that so much of your book, which is out today, does cover kind of like the changing landscape of the business side of the NFL, and especially of leverage, what's something that stands out to you most over, let's say, even the last 10 years?
I think in negotiations, this goes back to me negotiating with Brett Favre and Aaron way back. I mean, I think people get caught up in the numbers, right? So what's the number? What's that number? Is it going to be 20 million, 30 million, 40 million? From an inside perspective, whether you're on the agent side or the team side, it's really about the comps, and the comps are people. These are egos and insecurities. When you talk about negotiations, and that's what I talk about in my book, the numbers are the numbers. You have a good calculator, you can figure it out. It's what about relationships? What about people? Brett Favre didn't need to make 20 million or 25 million or 30 million, but what he wanted to know so much, as every player does, am I being treated fairly as that team treated their similarly situated player? In those days, it was, hey, am I making more than Troy Aikman or Drew Bledsoe or Steve McNair? And everybody's looking at that. And I think when I negotiated for the team, I just wanted the player to feel like, okay, we value you. It's the numbers are the numbers, and we'll figure that part out. But you have to feel valued, and I really learned through all my career the value of ego and insecurity. And everything you do, you've got to deal with these people over and over again. Sports is very small business, so treating people the right way was paramount.
What do you know about this new ownership group? We know that they're into AI. The son was an intern for the 49ers. Is there something else we should know about this group?
Well, I always thought that new ownership in all sports is now going to come from outlets that we probably haven't seen a lot of before. We're in a revolution in this country in terms of information and knowledge, and it's coming from tech, and it's coming from new media. And these are the businesses where we're going to see extraordinary wealth and capitalize on franchise ownership in sports. I don't know much about this owner, but there's an involvement in these new sectors that are so important to the future. Every year at the NFL meetings going way back, they'd bring in, a Google exec to talk to all of us, or they'd bring in a Microsoft exec or a new media person at NBC or CBS. So this is where it's been going. And I can even see leadership in pro sports heading that way. Well, like future commissioners, not necessarily coming from like the mailroom of the NFL, but from a big giant digital media company or something like that. So this is kind of a nod to that, where you bring in extraordinary wealth with also access to new media, new technology, AI, the way things are going now.
Hey, this is a little less about Seahawks ownership and more of kind of an existential crisis facing sports, college sports, professional sports.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't want to say the emergence of sports betting, which has always been around, but it certainly feels like every other day we are covering here some kind of story about a player being involved or a coach or a team or some kind of betting scandal. How different does this landscape look to you right now when it comes to sports betting as opposed to 15, 20 years ago? And is there a way to navigate it?
There's no area of sports business that's had as big a sea change as that. I remember being at the Packers where I was really hesitant for us to even do a fantasy football season-long draft before the season started, just scouts and coaches, no money exchange, couldn't draft any of our players. And the NFL was kind of like, yeah, I don't know, and then it was like, Tony Romo can't go to a fantasy football convention because it's in Vegas. I mean, this is how it's changed, primarily due to a 2018 Supreme Court decision that now has 40 states being legalized. I'm conflicted, I'm honest with you, and I talk about this in the book. I host a podcast. As every podcast, it seems, is sponsored by one of these sports betting companies. Yet I see some problems, and I see it with young people, and I teach 22 to 25-year-olds, and I see this effect on young men, which I don't think is great. And listen, it's where we are. It's in our face. Sports leagues have embraced it, and they've embraced it because of the monetary value. Media companies have obviously embraced it, and it's in our faces. So it's become so embedded in the sports consciousness that I think kind of we're losing our way with regulation. We'll see where it ends. I mean, this Bryce Harper story, some of these scandals that are going on now, I just wonder if we're headed towards a reckoning with that, and will media companies, will franchises, leagues, commissioners say enough's enough? I think we're sort of I'm looking for the first one to do that.
What's something that you admire, or something that the Hawks have done in the past that make them so valuable that you think other organizations should try to mimic?
Well, I work with John, and John's in the book. And, when he came in, he was coming from the Washington, I think they were called Redskins at that time. And he was from Green Bay, and he had just been dismissed by them. And John's a football guy to the hilt. And he just had this incredible vision about players where that's his life. That's his element. Scouting players, knowing players, being aggressive for getting the best players, whether through free agency, trade, or draft, and realizing the players are the product. I think there are a lot of franchises around the NFL where you look at them and say, well, there's this guy, there's this owner, there's this GM, there's this issue, there's this tension between these guys. And Seattle's like a lot like Green Bay in my mind, where it's just, and John's obviously an embodiment of that, where it's just all about football. It's all about creating the best product, low ego coach, low ego GM, and no one cares about who gets the credit. So it has become one of those admirable franchises. Doesn't have the history and legacy of the Packers, Steelers, Bears, teams like that, but certainly has the reputation now of first class and doing things the right way.
I mean, on a very related note, my last question for you. We are talking endlessly now as we head into training camp here in a week and a half, which is crazy, about the negotiations the Seahawks will continue to have with Devin Witherspoon. We don't know what that price is going to be, and resetting the market and whatever a bubble looks like is a separate conversation we could have with you. But based on what you know about John, how does he typically approach these negotiations, and what strengths does he have here?
Well, I think the whole idea of football operations is marrying the three sides, right, and working in harmony. And the three sides are coaching, personnel evaluation, and cap contract management. And John is so good at that. John's a people person. He's likable. He's easy to get along with. He's just like I keep saying, no ego. So, whether it was in Green Bay with Mike McCarthy, who's a personal friend of John's, and on the coaching side and myself on the cap contract side, we're all in tandem. And that, from an outsider, that looks exactly what's going on there. Him and Mike are just so in tandem. And John's brought in his cap contract people. So it's working. And the Witherspoon thing is going to be like all the negotiations John's had, where you recognize your core player, you get to him early, you pay him top of market, and you've established who your priorities are early on. I think that's what good organizations do. They prioritize the draft, very selective use of free agency, but really spend money, time, development on their core players.
Smarter About Sports, My Life Navigating Athletes, Agents, Media, and the Business of the NFL. Available now. It's Andrew Brandt's new book. Kind enough to join us for a little bit of a preview and perfect timing here. Andrew, again, could not think of a better guest to talk about what's a big transition here for the Seahawks. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Obviously, it's on Amazon now, so please go and order, and I think everyone will like it.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what's something that scared you a bit this past weekend?
Did y'all see that?
What?
Y'all see that dude with the Rams practicing, seeing how his body felt? Aaron Donald.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the man who got lifted into the air by the bison.
I did. You saw that, though.
I saw that.
He's from Washington.
And he survived. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, turned it into a promo.
Look, here's the thing about that guy. You got me off track, but I don't want to talk about him. All right? Let's talk about that dude. Why the heck are you standing there? You get one photo, and then you get the heck out of there. All right? He's going to stand there.
Don't make eye contact.
Like, come on, bro. That's when y'all delegation be tripping. You'll be, oh, my God.
But we made
bison.
it. But we made it.
Yeah, we went viral, Bob.
Yeah, we went viral. Back to Aaron
Anyway,
Donald.
that dude tripping.
Yeah,
but
a ram, not a bison.
Yeah, no, I saw that. It was like a grainy. It was almost like someone took a video from a flip phone back in the day. Like it was
it's
a
like
razor
a conspiracy
or something.
Theory.
Yeah, it was like, is this real? Like, what's going on? But no, I saw him and I read an article. He's talking about how he just wants to see how his body felt. And that's scary because it's becoming more real that Aaron Donald can possibly play for these Los Angeles Rams. And if they do, you think the NFL loves the Rams now, right? The media. If you put that man in that uniform one more time with Myles Garrett, you might as well give them the trophy right now because everybody's going to be riding their coattail. I would understand it. That'd be the best defensive line in the game probably right now. But, yeah, that worried me a little bit.
The coverage is going to be crazy. Literally, you're going to have, like, Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys going, this isn't fair. All you talk about is this team. Second down. What's something you want to see from the new owners?
Upgrade VMAC. I don't even know what that looks like because I think VMAC is
a buffet.
Great. They have a buffet.
I've never taken part in the buffet.
But
is there
upgrade
shrimp?
them. Maybe it's the lunch area because it's pretty basic up there when it comes to lunch area. But the chefs are good. The food is good. The indoor facilities on point. I know they were talking about the weight room being all jacked up for some reason, but I think the weight room is fine. You just have to put your stamp on that team. And how do you do that? It's visually, right? Maybe you switch the lobby up. You do something to the locker rooms. You have to do something that Stacy would like. Interior design.
Wallpaper.
Wallpaper.
It's
Is that
making
in?
a comeback. It's making a comeback. Tavertine, stone accents, curtains. I think drapes are underrated. We can go rugs.
Talking about a football.
We'll need curtains at the
I
facility.
think we need more rugs, and I think that we need some accents. Plants.
Okay.
I'm big on plants.
I like
Not
the
like in
plants.
that
I
really
like the
annoying
plant
plant
idea.
mom person, but
Yeah.
just in a way that I think it softens harsh corners.
All right. So y'all hit up Stacy.
Yeah.
Do some interior designing and see something. But that's their immediate impact is you change the house. You make it look like you a bit. Upgrade something in there or maybe even at Lumen. Do something like that. But leave the football alone.
And a shrimp buffet. A shrimp tower.
A shrimp tower.
A shrimp tower.
Okay.
Third down. Should Ernest Jones feel disrespected, and why?
Low key.
Okay.
Because there's a top 10 linebackers list that's put out this season. The execs and coaches ranked their top 10 linebackers. You got Fred Warner at 1, Roquan Smith at 2.
Okay with it.
Carson Schlesinger, am I saying that right?
I
At
always mess
3.
up his name.
Zach Bond at 4. Jake Campbell 5. Aziz 6. Jordan Brooks, big up Jordan Brooks 7. Nick Bolton 8. Edrin Cooper, 9, and Devin Lloyd, 10, and he got honorable mention. I wanted to be offended, but all those dudes are ballers. All those guys are ballers. I think, if anything, he's right outside the top 10, could be in the top 10. So I want him to feel disrespected, though, because I want these guys to continue to keep that chip on their shoulder. And I'm sure they will. I think Mike and John have a way of keeping these guys ready and the rest of the coaching staff on their toes or whatnot. But use this list, Ernest Jones, to get you mentally in a place to where you just go out and you wreck stuff once again. I could see him inside the top 10. I can also see him barely outside the 10 because all these guys are ballers. So should he feel disrespected? Probably not, but I want him to feel disrespected.
Should Seahawks fans feel a way that Jordan Brooks is in this ranking?
I don't know when the Hawks let him go.
It was, what were they working out? They were working out some kind of extension for another player, and it was just one of those things where it's like he wasn't the top priority, and just another team swooped in and made him their top priority.
Yeah.
That's how I read it.
That's how I remember it, too.
Yeah.
But I think, no, situations like that, you got to choose up. Management is going to choose up. Ownership is going to choose up. Which player do we value the most? At that point, he wasn't valued like that. But I'm glad to see him on this list. He's 28 years old, still got some good football left in him. I'm glad he's doing well.
Throw pillows.
Throw pillows.
That's another thing.
Where are you going to put them?
Anywhere. Anywhere. You can never have enough pillows. I've always said that. And look, I've been against this before, but hear me out. Maybe some LED lights.
Those are in.
You know what? I can meet the guys here halfway with the decor that they might want.
I've never met a guy that saw the vision with throw pillows. They just take those
you
things
guys don't
and chuck 'em.
understand. You don't understand.
It's a waste of time.
They're not to
Right.
touch. They're not to lay on.
It's a waste of time.
Then why are they on the bed? Why are they on the couch?
It looks nice because it looks nice.
Because only you
looks
and maybe
nice
your
without
partner
you
are
even
going to see the
realizing
pillows.
it. You know when sometimes you cook something and there's like a bay leaf or there's something in there where you're like, what's this ingredient?
Yeah, the bay leaf adds flavor.
Exactly.
Throw pillows do not add
Yes,
flavor.
it does. You just don't even taste it. What's bay leaf taste like? You don't know. The throw pillow is doing things to the room that you can't even understand.
I know what Bailey tastes like.
I don't. Fourth down. I mean, we can all agree on Shrimp Tower.
I don't like shrimp.
Okay. Anything stand out from our conversation with Andrew Brandt?
When he pointed out how quickly these franchises have grown in value, right? From $2 billion to $4 billion, now we're looking at $9 billion. He also talked about how it's important that ownership gets the media contracts right. But one thing he said that really stood out was you have to make players feel valued. And I know people hate that because what you're doing is you're feeding into their ego. But if you want your athlete to be the best, you want your quarterback to play at the top level, you want your linebackers to be flying around, you got to stroke that ego sometimes. It just is what it is. So I can't wait to really hear from ownership when they're like a few months in, right? When they settled in, when they put the curtains up and the throw pillows, they throw up the LED lights, and they're settled into their role and how the relationship is going to be with the players. Because I didn't see Jody interact a lot with the players, but when they talk about her, when John talks about her, it sounds like love. So how are they going to come in and replace? They also said that these guys have a good culture, right? This group has a good culture. How quickly are they going to just hop in and buy into what's going on over
like
here?
acclimate to it even, rather than like break it apart.
Exactly.
Just like, well, help us learn more about it.
You know what they have to do?
They
have to do what Flurry's doing. You come in, you learn that offense, and you tweak it a little bit on your own.
Do you guys ever think of McFlurries when you hear Brian Fleury?
All the time.
And McDonald.
Every single time.
and Fleury.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Curtis.
Yeah.
Wow.
This blew her mind.
Now, because here's the thing, I wasn't a McDonald's kid. I was a Taco Bell kid, Jack in the Box. So like, I don't always think McDonald's with Mike McDonald, but Fleury, Brian Fleury, every single time I think McFlurry.
McFlurry.
Every time.
Me too.
I think Jake Dickert should be canceled, and I will tell you why next.
30 years ago.
I wanted to be part of keeping the Seahawks in Seattle long term.
3 decades later.
12, they're bringing the trophy home.
2 Super Bowl championship banners hang in the stadium Paul Allen built. Now, a new era of stewardship begins.
Most things that seem impossible become possible.
And we welcome the Kosla family to Seattle. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Let me take you back to 104 years ago. The year is 1922. The president is Warren G. Harding. Insulin is a breakthrough diabetes treatment. Betty White, R.I.P., is born. And Wayscar Ford opens up in Auburn. Think about that. The Ford Bronco Sport I'm driving is from a dealership that's been around for 104 years. How is that possible? Well, Wayscar Ford is a model of consistency, and their secret, it's all about the people. Employees and customers just like you and me. I'm looking at their core values, but they're more than just words on paper. They mean it. They care. To this day, when I've got a question about the Bronco, I text the guy that I got it from, Chris, and the entire team was so easy to work with. Wayscar Ford is celebrating their 104th birthday in Auburn. Happy birthday with exclusive deals for loyal customers. No payments for 104 days. You can enter to win tickets, go see them in person, and be part of history. The Wayscarf Way, 104 years of service, trust, and community. WayscarFord.com.
This week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to my friend Brock Heward. Brock, why did you call First Mark?
It is so good to talk to you. It's been too long, and we made that call. And the only bummer is we waited too long. I know you hear from people that you talk to as well as I do to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. I just wish we would have done it earlier. The word that comes to my mind is a word I use on my sports show a lot, and that is connective tissue. It's important in team building. It's important to players in a locker room to be connected to others. And when it comes to insurance, it's so complicated, it's stressful, and you just don't even want to deal with it. And that's where the connective tissue of having a pro, having a broker, having a partner, and most of all, having a teammate like First Mark Insurance was the best connective tissue we could find.
Brock did it. My family did it. You got to do it. It's free. Take the First Mark Challenge. See how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today, like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
The countdown is on.
11 days.
Until Seahawks training camp on the home of the Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Look, I need to be real with you for a second. At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families cannot afford the food their kids need to heal. Think about that. A child recovering from surgery, learning to walk again, and the family is struggling to put food, nutritious food, on the table. That's why Safeway and Seahawk, Jackson Smith and Jigba are launching the Food First Project, a multi-year initiative to fight pediatric food insecurity right here in our community. This is not someday maybe talk. This is grocery cards, produce vouchers, and food as medicine programs going directly to families the moment the need is identified. No barriers, no red tape, just help right now. They're funding vitamin D screenings, nutrition support for student athletes, rehabilitation feeding tools, and meals for hundreds of families staying inpatient at the hospital. I love what Safeway and Seattle Children's are doing, making a real difference where it matters most. JSN showing up. Now it's our turn, 12s. Put food first. Learn more at Safeway.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. The sounds of summer. They're great until they're not. Luckily, AutoZone has free battery testing and charging
Let me check that for you.
to help make a rough moment smooth. Don't miss the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone. Free products with select deals until July 27th. And free services every day. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know you can't cook. You're not one of those people who say that they can, but when people come over for dinner, they find out the hard way, you can't. You can't even microwave popcorn, and that's literally just one button. Plus, measuring and patience are huge parts of cooking, and that's just not you. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates. Pricing coverage match limited by state law.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Cancel Jake Dickert right now.
Why would you do that?
Well, I'll tell you what. Throw him in jail, for that matter. I'll tell you what's going on. We've been trying to figure this out for a minute here, and I'm convinced that, I'm just not understanding. So Curtis
It's hard to believe it's even real.
I don't think it is. So this was...
No, I think it is.
I don't know what's going... So I'll describe the picture. And it's the timeline. We're finding some weird stories, some fun stories, some popular stories. So we are a little out of the woodwork with this one. But Wake Forest head football coach Jake Dickert is in a photo posted to his Twitter account, his X account. And it says, "You already know the star of the show, period. Starry Burgers."
The soda.
Now, Starry is the horrible renaming of
Sierra Mist.
Sierra Mist, thank you. And he's pouring it into, what is this?
It's like a warmer?
Like some kind of heater upper.
Crock-pot thing?
A crock pot thing. And I thought, now Bump, there are several 2 liters of soda next to it. And I thought, he's making punch. He's making punch, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
This looks like someone making punch is what it looks like. That's a lot of soda that's going into this big thing. But it's plugged in.
Yeah.
To heat up.
It's weird.
He's cooking burgers in Starry.
He's going to marinate them things.
I think he's marinating the burger meat in soda.
Now I got to try it.
Like soda. Not
not
like a brown soda. A lemon lime soda.
This can't be
This ain't his first time doing it. I mean,
this is definitely not his first time. It's like how people don't just jump to
thing.
killing people. They have small crimes that lead up to that. You know what I mean? How murderers were arsonists usually.
Yeah. He knows what he's doing. And I would love to hear a review from the players of how the burgers tasted. And I guarantee you, Starry is going to give him an NIL deal. He's getting hooked up.
What's the most unforgivable thing you do as far as food or drinks or something where people are judging you every time?
I'm basic as heck, man.
Okay, nothing crazy.
Basic. I mean, I used to put ketchup on my macaroni as a kid.
Oh, I know what it is.
What?
Bump is a ride or die for DiGiorno.
Yeah.
And he brought in pizza once, and I said, "Oh, where'd you get that pizza?" And he said, "It's DiGiorno."
Yeah.
It's
the best pizza ever.
No, literally, brought leftovers. You heated that up twice in an oven.
It's bomb.
Loves DiGiorno.
I think these burgers are actually real because Wake Forest does have a small clip on their official football account of a player because Dicker was hosting a barbecue at his house. So here is this player giving his approval of a Starry burger.
Ketchup, mustard, cheese, onion, and lettuce. That's all you need. And you get your Sprite burger from Coach Digger. That's
it. Sprite burger. It's not even Sprite.
Yeah, there must be a Pepsi school.
I'm moving on. United States World Cup star Flo Balogun spoke with CBS Good Morning's Gayle King earlier today about the controversial red card overturn that became the story of the tournament. Balogun said he could tell the whole thing added a lot of pressure for teammates.
My initial reaction was, I was happy to be back in the team.
Yeah.
But when I kind of started to reflect, I knew it was going to cause a lot of controversy. And I could almost see within my teammates a bit of nerves because it's something that's so unique. But the closer we got to the game, I tried to just focus as best as I could.
Yeah.
But it was difficult, a lot of outside noise, and that's hard to avoid.
The U.S. team, I don't know that anyone expected them to actually go to the final, but Bump, you talked about it. They certainly seemed like they played. I don't know if it was scared
or
scarred.
Do
you think that was a factor?
Yeah, he said it. He said he could see his teammates kind of like change a little bit when he got reinstated. And it was like the world was rooting for the U.S. at one point, and then the world was rooting against the U.S. because of Trump getting involved and then this red card that Flo got that was reversed. Yeah, I think they felt that pressure. It looked like they did because they did not play free. Mm-hmm. That was not the team. I don't think they're better than Belgium. I don't think they are. I think Belgium is a better ball team, but they were better than 4-1. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree. It's not like, oh, Belgium was reinstated and so they lost because of that. But it was interesting to hear it from Flo Balogun himself that like there's a little bit of something mental there with that team. And it's just interesting to think about the dynamics of like, does playing a man down give you a weird chip? I was happy to see Flo back, and I was like, great. I'm slightly less nervous about this team than I was before. I didn't expect them to play that poorly, but I wonder what the mental gymnastics were like.
Yeah, it's like I said, they went from like the sweetheart.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the U.S. are playing so great. People are enjoying all the cities to now we want them to lose because Trump out there. People thought that Trump had an influence on that whole thing, and it was probably better off if the red card wasn't reversed. I think they would have gone out and just played more free and more aggressive because that was the scariest I've ever seen that team look. That group, too. And I walked the streets and I talked to a few people after the game. The Belgians were confident, though. They thought this is the way it was gonna go down. I think maybe 2-1, 2-0 would be the score if these guys played the way they could play.
Next up, one of the funniest mic'd up moments from Sunday's final round of the Scottish Open. Rory McIlroy shanked a shot and expressed himself in a way every golfer has likely done before.
Oops, this is not good.
Oh my God, I'm so bad at golf.
I'll swap you anytime.
A highly relatable sport that changes every day.
Do you yell that when you shank something, just a putt, or shank a putt?
Shank a putt. I talk to myself. I say, you freaking are bad.
Thank you for the radio edit.
In many ways. But, yeah, that's golf, man. I was playing I played yesterday. First 13 holes were great. Last 5, garbage.
During Tuesday's press day for the Open Championship, Rory was asked about what he wants his legacy to be and said it's not something he cares about at all.
No, I don't really care. I would like to think that the people that love and care about me think a certain way of me, but yeah, I'll be long gone. I'll be dead. I don't think I'll be seeing what people say about me. I'll be 6 feet under. I don't think I'll be a ghost. I don't think I'll be, I don't care.
We got a little existential at the end, and I don't even think I'll be a ghost.
Here's the thing when greats say that, they don't care because he's already accomplished so much.
Right.
But when it's all said and done, he's going to care. If he didn't care, he would be reckless in the way he moves off the golf course or even while he's on the golf course. I think they care, but they have a way of just blocking stuff out until it's all said and done and then being in the moment. He definitely cares, though.
Our last story is like a peak timeline story. It quite literally showed up on the timeline, but it's just weird. Okay. Did Cubs beat writer Bruce Levine mean to send a tweet as a text to someone on Chicago's coaching staff? Because as a tweet, it makes no sense. He said, "You and the other coaches have been the stars of the team being 12 games over 500. Let's hope," and then I love this, "Twinkle D and Twinkle Dumb don't sell you guys out like the 2025. Enjoy the family time, pal." Then he deleted it, but not before a bunch of people took screenshots. There are so many things about this tweet outside of just Twinkle D and Twinkle
I think
Din.
he's referring to the Ricketts family and maybe Jed Hoyer, the GM, with Twinkle D and Twinkle Dumb. Incredible nicknames for them going forward.
Yes. I think people are now wondering who on Chicago's coaching staff is talking with reporters about ownership.
About the Cubs,
Exactly. Fascinating insight.
That's such a scary thing. Like, you send a text to the wrong person.
Maybe it was meant to be a DM.
Yeah.
Because I've never in my life sent a text as a tweet.
No, it was definitely a DM.
Had to be a DM.
It was definitely a DM, yeah. But I can imagine the panic that went through his body when he saw that thing posted. Ooh, I've sent the wrong text to people before, and I'm like, dang, that could have been a lot worse.
Have you ever sent a screenshot of a text?
Yes.
That's the worst thing you could possibly do.
Oh, my God.
There's no way to get out of it.
No.
There's no way to get out of it.
Yeah, I was talking about you, and
Yeah.
I sent our conversation to someone.
That's devastating.
Yeah.
Let's go around the diamond. The American League seeks vengeance against the evil National League tonight in the All-Star game. Hear the full broadcast starting at 5 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports. That's Around the Diamond, brought to you by Klein Jewelers Edmonds. Coming up at noon, an NFC West check-in, and we're starting with the San Francisco 49ers.
Exclusive coverage of the sale of the Seahawks on Seattle Sports.
Oh, it's caught JSN. Drags the defender.
ESPN NFL insider Seth Wickersham.
At the very beginning of the process, people told me that don't underestimate this guy.
With Brock and Salk.
No one seems to know that much about him because most of the people we know are in the sports world.
He's slid and smart. They wouldn't describe him as cutthroat, but he's someone who he never loses.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube now.
The beautiful game is down to the last week with a champion crown this weekend. Bump here, inviting you to celebrate this Sunday at Silver Reef Casino Resort. Make a whole weekend out of it. Here's what you need to do. Head up Friday, treat yourself to a delicious dinner at the steakhouse. On your way to dinner, become a free member of Reef Rewards, allowing you discounts on gas, dining, hotel, and spa. Saturday morning, get yourself a tea time at Loomis Trail. Make sure you get there and check out the range and walk around the historic clubhouse. After you're around, hit the spa for a massage or treatment to work out those knots and unwind. Saturday, have some fun and enjoy dinner at the Cantina or the Red River Cafe. Sunday is for football. Taking the final with some loud, excited fans at the Portis Bay restaurant. Fresh off a big win, head home and plan your next weekend at Silver Reef. Maybe for Crazy Train, Howie Mandel, or Guns Four Roses. All you got to do, take the I-5, exit 260, silverreefcasino.com.
Longer days, warmer weather, and a stronger you all start at Top Fitness. Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and right now, check out the Top Fitness Big Sale in all 3 of their stores. Every category is on sale. Home gyms, weight plates, dumbbells, treadmills, and stair climbers like I've got. Great deals on display models, too. Have a home gym that needs some help? Get your rubber flooring and all the accessories you need. Get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
When you're injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who actually live it, because you need someone who understands the ride. It's Bob Stelton here, and for 25 years, Law Tigers has helped thousands of riders. One mission only, to serve the motorcycle community. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. That's why riders have trusted Law Tigers, because this isn't just what they do, it's who they are. They're there 24/7, 365 days a year, because riders deserve real support whenever they need it. Your case evaluation is always free, and there are no fees until your case settles. They're going to help you get your bike and your gear repaired or replaced, because they know how much those things mean to you. Law Tigers, 25 years strong and still riding with you. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. Again, that's 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafy, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. At Pella Windows and Doors, we pride ourselves on delivering top quality windows and doors that enhance the beauty and energy efficiency of your home. Our products are built to last with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. Whether you're looking to upgrade your windows or install new doors, Pella has you covered.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
Hey, Mariners fans, what's better than catching a Friday night game with family and friends at T-Mobile Park? Catching a double feature of a Mariners game and post-game fireworks spectacular you can't see anywhere else. Be there for 2000's Fireworks Night, Friday, July 17th, after the squad takes on the Giants in a West Coast showdown. See the full schedule presented by T-Mobile and score your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. Julio is out of the ballpark for the second time tonight. He cannot be stopped.
11 days
Until training camp for the Super Bowl champs. And nobody has it covered like the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds, too. Get a quote right now at 800-381-4183. 800-381-4183 or biglou.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Dave Taylor from First Mark Insurance. So glad, so thankful that Molly and I made the call. Had heard so many First Mark Challenge victories, we needed to take that challenge. What does happen from your perspective when that caller, when that email, when that person reaches out to you for a First Mark Challenge victory?
That's a great question. So there's several steps we go through in the process. The first step is we're going to gather information, find out all we can about that client and what their needs are. The next step is we will go out to the market. We have dozens and dozens of carriers that will compete for the business. At the end of that process, we will then bring those findings back to the customer, show them what we found, and who the eventual winner was in that competition.
And it may be who they're with.
It might be, yes. And sometimes that's the best we can do is recommend they stay where they are, but maybe modify a few coverages to put them in a better position.
So go take that challenge today. Go be the next First Mark Challenge victory. It costs you nothing, and they will be there with you every step of the way. FirstMarkInsurance.com. FirstMarkInsurance.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We spent a good portion of yesterday's show and today's show kind of talking about some of our frustrations with the Mariners. But there's still not a full half a season to play, but a good chunk of the season left to play. And I thought that it would be worth turning to some of what we heard recently from three big voices in sports, mostly two. In this case, I have a couple cuts. It's Buster Olney, and then it's Chris Rose and Trevor Plouffe having a conversation about why a lot of people in baseball still very much think the Mariners are totally in this, a sleeping giant. Here's the latest from Buster on with Get Up.
Joe, the sleeping giant, the Seattle Mariners, who are under 500 right now, 48 and 49. But this is a team with an excellent rotation. Brian Wu, Logan Gilbert, depth behind them. Plus, you know that Cal Raleigh's not going to struggle in the second half the way they did in the first half. Julio Rodriguez playing in a very winnable American League West. I could see the Mariners emerging, especially after making moves at the trade deadline.
What'd you think about that one? Calls them a sleeping giant?
It's weird.
Why?
Because baseball is the only sport where a team could be bad for 2 weeks. They'd be like, it's all right. Sleeping giant.
Because it can be all right.
I know, but it's weird. It's like I'm watching. You're watching what I'm watching, right?
Yeah.
And I understand that the rotation is on point, that Julio and everyone else have the potential to go on a run. It's just weird because obviously I'm a football guy. You have 3-4 weeks of bad football. No one's believing in you. You know what I mean? I appreciate it. I'm glad they feel that way. I'm going to lean on them because if I'm going off of me, like I'm slowly losing hope. Like, man, this really might be who they are. So I'm glad that people feel that way. I'm glad that experts feel that way. It's just weird to hear them talk about a Seattle team like that because in any other sport, let's talk about the major sports, right? Any other sport, Seattle doesn't get the benefit of the doubt like this, like these guys are getting. I appreciate it. I hope they're right. It feels weird right now.
I think it's just that the American League West is so bad. And like, while it doesn't feel good to look at the standings and see Texas ahead of you, even with injuries, the Mariners just have more than every other team in the AL West.
Mm-hmm.
I know Houston's been heating up a little bit. Texas is now ahead of you in the standings, and I get that. But, like, Seattle has a depth and that these two teams don't, and a more complementary complete baseball team. And as much as we'll all rant about what we haven't liked this season, and there's plenty to talk about, like, I completely get why someone would look at the West and go, I still, like, this team would have to absolutely implode to not win it. This is Chris Rose and Trevor Plouffe.
Do you feel like one of them is going to step on the accelerator in the second half?
I keep thinking the Mariners are going to turn it around.
I do too.
I keep thinking they're going to turn around. Like Josh Naylor has not been good. Talk about their middle lineup bat. Cal Raleigh has been injured, and then when he has played, has not been himself. So it's we expected regression from 60 homers, obviously, but this is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, this is something. This is virtually unprecedented.
I think that has not been himself is really key.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like last season. Well, last season was flukish, but for a different reason. But it's not like last season was the only good year Cal Raleigh's ever had, and then this is really who he is. These are the numbers. These are numbers he had like his rookie year when he had just made his debut. The Cal Raleigh that we're seeing, he is not this bad. I don't know if he's still banged up. I don't know if he's in his head. I don't know if the swing isn't right. I'm sure it's a mix of a lot of things. Even if the swing doesn't fix itself and Cal Raleigh doesn't even look like a good version of him, I have a hard time believing he'll be this bad for another couple months. I mean, we're talking another 2-3 months here.
I said this a few weeks ago, and someone on the text line lit me up, and I'm going to say it again.
Uh-huh.
Cal just needs to have a few moments, right? Clutch. You get into the playoffs, and you hit a bomb to go up 3-0 or something like that. We can no longer look at his stat line and say, well, we need this to improve, that to improve. I'm over that. Now I'm just, Cal, have your moments, dog. We know you're going to strike out. We know you're going to be good behind the plate. Now we just need a moment, a series or two, and I think that should be enough if Josh and Julio and Randy and Donovan, when he comes back, if they get going. They have to get going to allow Cal just to have those moments because it's hard for me to believe that he's just going to go on like a nasty streak right now.
Would you move him back in the lineup to take some of that pressure off? Like if you think that and I agree with you, yeah, part of it's physical, part of it's the swing. But if part of it's kind of mental and some pressure, would you move him back just a little bit to take some of that off?
I would. Whatever it takes to make him feel just at ease. If that's what it takes, I'd do it at this point.
I still feel really encouraged by how optimistic. I mean, we don't have cuts here from Jeff Passan because we wanted to focus on these two, but we could find a million times Jeff Passan has been on with Brock and Salk saying yeah, still really believe in the Mariners. I think it's going to happen. I don't know that there are people around, national voices in baseball that still think the Mariners are my pick for the World Series. Mm-hmm. But I think that guys like Buster, maybe they aren't as closely connected to the Mariners and don't see as much as we all do every single day, and those little frustrations add up. But he sees everything else. And when you have a whole view of what the American League is right now and what really horrible teams are actually doing, I think it does add context to man, if the Mariners could just tweak this thing or two, if you just had contributions, even if it wasn't Cal and Naylor, if you had Naylor take off or just Cal, you know what I mean? You just need a couple things. Maybe it's Donovan coming back or Julio.
Something. You need a spark. And Randy's been holding it down this whole time. It's help Randy now. All right, Randy's been kind of keeping everything afloat, doing what he can when he can. But you're right. You just need one or two guys. And the one thing that I think can happen, though, is Julio getting hot and going on the street where it just goes nuts. He's the one guy in this lineup that I feel like at any moment can just get hot and go on a historic run. We've seen it happen year after year. So somebody's got to wake up, man. But I'm glad that the experts are still talking about this team like that. Because I'll be looking at it, man. I'm like, dang, I'm frustrated.
We're so in it.
I'm like, every day. I'm like, y'all watching what I'm watching? I get the potential because we've seen Naylor go off. We've seen Julio. We've seen these guys do it.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for it to finally happen.
I do think that Julio could bring some energy back that might have been lacking during this road trip. Because this is a good thing is I don't know if Cal's going to turn it on. I do know Julio's coming back.
Yeah. It's Julio can be a breath of fresh air, I think, with his personality alone and how he approaches the game. That can be contagious. Only time I see Julio not smiling is when he's striking out and walking back to the dugout. Other than that, there's an energy he brings to this team that I think can help.
I feel like I'm going to feel refreshed by the All-Star break and ready to dive into another series preview here. In fact, ironically, the San Francisco Giants are going to be the first team they face here at home at T-Mobile Park. While we're not previewing this Giants series, we're going to talk about another San Francisco team. Our look around the NFC West starts next with Matt Maiocco.
The sale of the Seahawks.
$9.6 billion.
For the future back-to-back champs, I'd hope it'd be $10 billion, but we'll settle with 9, for sure.
This team in a championship window, does this affect it?
No. The important pieces are still here. Sam Darnold, Coach McDonald, JSN.
Please be like your predecessor. Totally committed to this team to do whatever it takes to win.
That's all we care about, brother.
Coverage continues on the home of the Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
The way you met, the moment you knew, the future you're dreaming about together. At Klein Jewelers, we believe your engagement ring should be just as unique as the journey that brought you here. That's why we specialize in custom designed engagement rings, crafted to reflect your style, your story, and the life you're building together. Our experienced team will guide you every step of the way, because when you're creating a symbol of forever, every detail matters. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. Your jeweler for life.
Not all roofs are created equal, and not all warranties are either. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Right now, take advantage of free lifetime Golden Pledge warranties on all GAF shingle installations. And save up to $3,000 or choose 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Summertime savings won't last forever. Protect your home with a roof you can count on for decades. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Need a lift? At Levitt Machinery, we take a different approach to help you lift more and worry less. We take the time to learn how you work. Then we match your business with equipment that solves your unique challenges. From forklifts and telehandlers to track loaders and excavators, we make sure you get the right equipment at the right cost. Because when your equipment does its job, you can focus on yours. Talk to Levitt Machinery today. Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Pests and poor installation have something in common. One call to Eastside Exterminators takes care of both. For more than 50 years, families across Western Washington have trusted Eastside Exterminators to eliminate pests for good and protect homes from crawl space to attic. With dedicated installation services and the state's only smart pest detection technology. From Everett to Federal Way, one call handles it all. 425-482-2271 or visit eastsideexterminators.com. Eastside Exterminators, family first pest control.
It's summertime and the living is easy. If you're like me, you're spending nights on the patio listening to the game and enjoying what makes our area so beautiful. Dave Wyman here, and I have just the offer for you to get the most out of your outdoor living space. $500 off each window, $750 off patio and entry doors, and $200 off the final project. I've loved working with Harley Exteriors. They're a local company right here in Bothell, down-to-earth people who enjoy the same things we all do, rooting on our local teams and doing the best job we possibly can day in and day out. Use Harley Exteriors to complete your home space and receive 12 or 18-month promotional financing.
Qualified buyers only. Subject to credit approval and lender terms. Minimum purchase of 4 qualifying windows required. Windows must be 36 by 36 inches or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to approved credit. Offers cannot be combined with other promotions. Offer expires July 31st, 2026.
Go to HarleyExteriors.com.
Hi, Chef John Howie here. For 24 years, my team and I at Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar have called Bellevue home. We serve fresh, locally sourced seafood, farm fresh produce and poultry, and great steaks. At Sea Star, we like to say there's something for everyone, from the carnivore to the pescatarian to the vegetarian. Come see for yourself at Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar in Bellevue. SeaStarRestaurant.com, SeaStarRestaurant.com.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Blackhawk Pro Painting reminds parents the fatal crash rate for teens peaks at age 19, and we lose nearly 8 kids every day. Make a family agreement to never drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs, text behind the wheel, or ride with anyone who is. Always designate a sober driver, call a parent or rideshare, and let's bring our children home safely. Best wishes to all our kids from the entire team at Blackhawk Pro Painting. Family owned and proudly serving the greater Seattle area. For interior and exterior painting, online at blackhawkpropainting.com.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Congratulations to Cardinals outfielder Jordan Walker, winner of Monday's Home Run Derby. He hit 6 bombs to beat Kyle Schwarber in the final. Also cool, the $1 million he won from the Derby is more than his entire 2026 salary. Tonight at 5 p.m. on Seattle Sports, the AL takes on the NL in the All-Star Game.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. It's our look around the NFC West, and we are getting started with the San Francisco 49ers with NBC Sports Bay Area's Matt Maiocco. Matt, how's it going?
It's going great, Stacy. How's everything there?
Fantastic. A really intriguing offseason for, I'll say, all 4 teams in this division, though more so probably for 3 of them. And so I have so many questions for you about the 49ers who are just as intriguing to me as the Rams. But I do have to start, and again, I don't know that I'm expecting any info here, but just I have to start with the newsy thing here, which is the new owners, the Khosla family. And I know that Vinod Khosla was a minority owner with the 49ers. Do you know anything about the family or any intel there?
Well, I do. I mean, I can't say that I know him. Yeah. I did not meet him after he bought a 3.1% stake in the 49ers about a year ago. So doing the math on that, he bought in for around $265 million. I know his background of growing up in India and immigrating to the United States at the age of 21, and now he's 71, so he's been here for 50 years. I know he views himself as an innovator and someone who thinks outside the box. So it'll be interesting to see what he does with Seattle. I just was thinking about this, that, how do you think outside the box in the NFL? And I do think that a good example of that is what the Rams have done. They're kind of brushing aside draft picks to as trade capital. I mean, that's something that is really, I think fans thought that way, but teams never thought that way until the Rams. So, what's Seattle going to do? What are the Seahawks going to do under Vinod Khosla to get that thing, keep it at the high level? Obviously, they don't have to change much, but I think he's a competitive person, and I'm sure having a stake in the 49ers kind of gave him the appetite to become the controlling guy. He didn't really have a voice with the 49ers. That's the York family, Jed York in particular, with some other people running the operation. So I think it's probably very energizing for him to own, in essence, the Seattle Seahawks and be kind of the last line. He has veto power. He can make all the decisions he wants. He can run this thing in his image. So, on the surface, I would say that the Seattle Seahawks are in very good hands.
All right, let's dive into the 49ers so we can understand a bit more about the team up here in Seattle. I'm going to start with one of the position groups that's most interesting to me for dramatically different reasons, and it's wide receiver. I really liked the signing of Evans. Yeah. I don't know anyone who doesn't love Mike Evans. I'm curious, kind of, is he that go-to number one guy, even as a slightly older receiver? He's been so consistent. And secondly, what's going on with Brandon Ayuk? Is he just not going to be a 49er this year? Matt, help us know what's happening.
Yeah, there is absolutely zero chance with a plus minus margin of error of 0. There is no chance he's with the San Francisco 49ers. The bigger question is he going to be with anybody this season? Now, 49ers still have him under contract. He's on the reserve left squad list. He has to apply for reinstatement. He says he will not do that as long as the 49ers control his rights. So I just don't know where he is as far as his mindset, because this thing could have been done a long, long time ago. You know, he could have applied for reinstatement in April. He could have shown up at the 49ers practice facility on April 20th, and they would have released him on the spot. But the more he talks about joining the Washington Commanders, the more that gives the 49ers the motivation not to just cut him free and let him go to a team that they have on their schedule this season. So we'll have to see, you know, what if Brandon Ayuk really wants to continue playing football, and if there's a team out there that isn't just totally scared off by everything that he's put out there over the past year. As far as Mike Evans, he looked like the number one guy in the offseason program. You know, there was in OTAs, I mean, a very small sample size here, and it doesn't mean much of anything, but, you know, there was a red zone drill where he caught like 5 touchdown passes in a row. I think that the wide receiving core for the 49ers last year was not good at all. They weren't really a threat on the outside. I mean, their main passing threats were George Kittle when he was healthy and Christian McCaffrey. So having Mike Evans, they really liked the rookie that they took at 33 overall, Dejon Stribling. If Ricky Pearsall can stay healthy, they added Christian Kirk as well. So that stands to be perhaps the most improved position group on the team from a year ago. And the thing that was probably most surprising about last year is that the running game really never got going. You know, but a guy in Christian McCaffrey who averaged 5.4 yards a carry in 2023 and was the NFL Offensive Player of the Year, that rushing average fell by 1.5 yards per carry. So I think an improved passing game and improved threats on the outside will help that running game as well. So, oh, by the way, I was at the golf tournament at Tahoe Edgewood over the weekend and sat down with Mike McDonald for about 10 minutes. I really had a nice conversation with him, and, you know, he spoke glowingly of the 49ers and the kind of the constant back and forth and the game within the game with him and Kyle Shanahan. So I really did enjoy talking to Mike McDonald, and we'll be running that interview a little bit later this week.
Oh, we'll keep an eye out for it. He's such a good talker, and I don't know if this was your experience, but it feels like you know, sometimes you do interviews with even coaches who are very smart, and they're kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna keep walls up and I'm not gonna say things. I feel like he thinks about every answer and then answers honestly. We had 17 seconds of dead air.
Yeah, very sincere, and he was very approachable and didn't even hesitate when I asked him if he could come over and spare a few minutes. And, you know, I was very upfront. You know, we're from NBC Sports Bay Area, so it's going to be very 49er-centric. And he was like, sure, yeah, let's go. So, no, it was great. I really appreciated the time he gave me.
Hey, I have a follow-up about your last one, and it's coming from a place of, I'll say, anxiety, to be fair. So be honest with me. When you mentioned the 49ers run game not working really last year, never getting going, I couldn't help but think, well, God, Brian Fleury, new Seahawks OC, was the run game coordinator last year. What was going on with the run game? What wasn't working?
Well, I asked Kyle Shanahan that question in the off season here, and he's very honest. You can kind of tell when he's not telling the whole truth, but he mentioned that a lot of different things. I mean, he mentioned that there were some issues scheme-wise. He said the backs at times didn't hit the right hole. He said that the blocking from the receivers, which can sometimes turn let's just say a 5-yard gain into a 25-yard gain. So there were a lot of things going on there. I mean, I guess, frankly, I was a little bit surprised that Seattle hired Brian Fleury. I know he's a very detail-oriented guy. I think he's a very smart guy. And, you know, I do think that teams, you know, we can look at it and go, well, you know, the running game wasn't all that great. So therefore, you know, why is the run game coordinator a candidate for another job? I think that, you know, that gets overplayed a lot. You know, it's about the philosophy. It's about the actual, the coaches and what they stand for and what they believe in and in their process to get there. So I do know that, George Kittle speaks very highly of Brian Fleury just because of the minutia, the details. He is very detail oriented, so there will not be any gray area when it comes to the Seattle offense and what these guys are asked to do. So I do know that Mike Macdonald wanted to kind of keep going in the same line that they were going last year, so they're not changing their offense at all. But there will be obviously there will be some new wrinkles to Seattle's offense and probably stuff that the layman wouldn't even be able to pick up on. But yeah, I was a little bit. I'll be frank. I was a little bit surprised that they hired Brian Fleury, but then it does make sense because of what his base is as far as being coach. So I know Seattle Mike Macdonald in particular just wanted to kind of keep going in the same direction with somebody who has had responsibilities and has been in the system and certainly being around Kyle Shanahan for the past, X number of years is something that Mike Macdonald definitely wanted to add to his staff.
All right, I want to take a look with you at the 49ers defense. And I'll be honest, even though the season ended in heartbreaking fashion for the 49ers, this was not a fully healthy team. And covering the Seahawks, I was a little bit like, whoa. Thank goodness, because there were some superstars that have just given this team headaches over time. So I wanted to ask you about, general expectations. What kind of defense? What's going to be the strength? Maybe a young name to watch that, isn't Greenlaw or Bosa or someone that we certainly know.
Yeah.
And kind of what kind of are they going to be like a clear strength? I'm so used to seeing this as a balanced team, but maybe just being so frustrating offensively, but tell me a bit about defense.
Yeah, as you mentioned, last year they lost Bosa early in the season. They lost Fred Warner about, midway through the season. They're, inarguably their two best defensive players for the year. And, for the most part, they were able to camouflage that a little bit, although watching Seattle throughout the season and seeing that pass rush that just comes at you in waves, the 49ers did not have that. The 49ers had 20 sacks in 17 games. They were far and away the worst in the NFL. And so Robert Saleh takes the head coaching job with the Tennessee Titans, and Raheem Morris steps in as defensive coordinator of the 49ers. To me, the biggest question, and it looks like Bosa will be back healthy. He'll be ready to go. He comes off an ACL injury, the second one that he's had in his NFL career. Fred Warner, if the 49ers had, it's ridiculous to say this because the 49ers got pounded 41-6, but if they had won that game, he would have been available for the NFC Championship game the next week. So he's been ready to go, and he should be able to step back and be the same player he was pre-injury. The X factor, I think, is the player the 49ers took at number 70 overall, Romello Height. They need somebody who can affect the quarterback on the defensive end opposite of Bosa. So I think that he's the guy to watch. It'd be probably overly dramatic to say that, as Romello Height goes, so goes the 49ers. But I do think that they needed to add a pass rusher, a dynamic edge rusher to the mix. And they really didn't do that in free agency. Those guys cost a lot of money. And maybe, who knows, Max Crosby is, theoretically out there available in a trade. I don't know what the 49ers would have to give back to the Raiders. Don't know if they could even absorb that salary where they're set up. They have a lot of room this year, but so many big contracts kick in next year. Joey Bosa is still out there, but there's still really no indication whether he plans on continuing his NFL career. So that's why I kind of put it with Romello Height. If he can put up some big sack numbers and take advantage of probably a lot of one-on-one opportunities, then that 49ers defense can go from what I would consider a bottom third defense last year to getting back there in the top 10.
All right, last question for you, Matt. And this is one that we've actually been trying to ask ourselves up here in Seattle because both quarterbacks are kind of in similar spots in this way. We were just looking at Jeremy Fowler's kind of top 10 quarterback lists where he, asked executives around the league to rank them. And both Sam Darnold and Brock Purdy found themselves as honorable mentions, but still outside the top 10. So I'm going to ask you the exact same thing we were asking ourselves, but about Sam Darnold, in this case about Brock Purdy, which is, what does he have to do?
Well, apparently winning a Super Bowl isn't enough for Sam Darnold.
No.
I mean, that seems to be a pretty good, I think Sam Darnold would just be fine. Hey, rank me 32nd, but just keep piling up those Lombardi trophies.
Right, totally fine.
I think Sam Darnold's probably just fine being ranked where he is because the inarguable argument is what he did last season. I get it with Brock Purdy. I think a lot of it is how he came into the league. I think people just hate to admit that they were wrong. In the 7th round pick, if he was that good, he would have been a 1st round pick. And so I would say this about Brock Purdy. I don't know that he gets all that upset, or I doubt that he looks at those kinds of things, but I'm sure he has people who do, who tells him that kind of stuff. I would say, as far as physical talent and being able to plug a player into any system, maybe Brock Purdy isn't that guy. Maybe he wouldn't be able to, to go to a team that maybe uses a different offensive philosophy. But I would say this, I would say his ability to be accurate and to process and to run the 49ers system the way that Kyle Shanahan wants it run, I'm not sure there are too many other quarterbacks who could do it as efficiently as he could. And, when you look at passer rating, and I don't, everybody determines on their own whether passer rating is really a big thing or not, but he needs 147 pass attempts this season to qualify as the NFL's all-time leader in passer rating. Right now, he stands at 104.0 passer rating in his career, and Lamar Jackson and Aaron Rodgers are at the top. I think it's like 102.2. Wow. So rankings are whatever they are. I don't think the 49ers are complaining about Brock Purdy being their quarterback, just as there's no way anybody in Seattle is complaining about Sam Darnold being their quarterback.
All right, going to be, I think, the best division in football. Some fascinating teams, fascinating stories, and I just can't wait to see how it unfolds. So when is your, so we can keep an eye out for it, your interview with Mike McDonald? We're going to keep an eye out.
I think that'll be later in the week. It'll probably, I did a bunch of interviews today. We had Robert Saleh.
Nice.
We ran that one. Mike McDonald will be, and I really like, just the way he talks, talking about last season's team with Seattle is kind of a singular thing. Talked about, going from being the 100 to the 100. And he's like, hey, we're not into that. We're just, I think he's called it chasing a way of life. I asked him about what's going on in the NFC West with the Rams and, the 49ers and this arms race. And he's just like, hey, we don't worry about outside circumstances. It's all about us. So it's a very measured response. And I walked away from that going, man, this guy has like a really good mentality. It just doesn't seem like, he rides that roller coaster, the highs and the lows. It just really comes off as an exceptional leader. So I count me as a Mike McDonald fan.
Amazing. Well, I can't wait to check it out. He's NBC Sports Bay Area's Matt Maiocco. Matt, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right, Stacey. Thanks for having me again. I really appreciate it.
See ya. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump Stacy.
Headline number one, Jordan Walker stunned the Philly crowd with 6 home runs in his final 6 swings to win the 2026 Home Run Derby. What's the real headline?
The most impressive thing about this is how hard it is to shut Philly fans up. So good on Jordan Walker, I guess.
I loved it, man. I like the format. I like the I heard one of the commentators saying the format has created like a villain in this thing, right? Because obviously Schwarber's at home. Everyone's cheering for him. They're booing Walker. Walker staying calm, got his Ken Griffey backwards hat on. It was fun. I liked this one better than the timed home run.
Really?
Yeah.
What? I don't remember. Curtis, do you know whether the home run total? I thought I saw a tweet that it was significantly less this year.
Yeah, because you weren't having guys just one right after another.
Trying
right
to
after,
knock them out. Yeah.
Because I think the single round record under the clock format was 41 with Julio, and guys were advancing last night with like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
It just puts more pressure. More pressure. Every swing counts with this one. I like it.
Jordan Walker had to get 6 home runs on obviously consecutive swings to end this one and beat Schwarber. And what's really cool, the $1 million prize that he got from winning the Derby is more than his entire 2026 salary.
We call that a come up.
Jordan Walker, more like Jordan home run hitter.
Nice.
Don't no.
Yeah.
Stay strong. Next up.
Headline rewrites.
France taking on Spain right now. It is scoreless in the 19th minute of the World Cup semifinal. What's the real headline?
In NFL terms, this is last year's NFC Championship game.
Yeah, it is. These are two of the, make it to the Final Four, everybody's good. France is probably the most talented team. Argentina is probably the more destined team. You're getting a lot of help from these referees. Someone else pointed out, too, that all of Argentina games have been at night, so they're not fighting the heat.
Oh, yeah, because were they trying to support your argument that FIFA
is corrupt, man.
Argentina?
If you look at the fouls that are being called against Argentina and for Argentina, it's crazy. They're still talented, and you still got Messi over there. Messi's the GOAT, but it's a little fishy.
That's what people were pointing to Messi in terms of him doing the same thing Balogun did here wasn't even sent to VAR.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's messy. Here's the thing, he gets superstar calls in all sports, right? You especially in basketball. If you're a star in that league, refs are going to be more lenient with you. In the NFL, if you're a quarterback, refs are going to protect you a bit more. It's human nature to kind of turn the other cheek when you see a superstar doing stuff, but you got to make it as even as possible.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, the American League takes on the NL in tonight's All-Star game. What's the real headline?
In NFL terms, this is the 2025 Pro Bowl, or any Pro Bowl. Nothing to watch here. Now I'll say this. Randy Arozarena is representing the Mariners. You can listen live on Seattle Sports. You can still hear the biggest stars in baseball. It's usually pretty fun. Last year ended up being pretty fun. I'm just in awe of the gap between the American League and National League this year.
Yeah, it's kind of going up. Well, not really reacting to what you just said, but I was thinking earlier that I like the baseball all-star game because it resembles the actual game more than any other sport. In football, it's flag. Basketball, they play no defense. Hockey, they're kind of just moseying around. This is probably not my favorite to watch, but the one that resembles an actual game.
How would you fix another one of those? So, for instance, let's take the actual NFL Pro Bowl, which was the butt of the joke here. But what would make for a more interesting Pro Bowl? Like, what would make you tune in already because you're a sicko, but what would make more people tune in?
I don't know. I think what they're doing now is as good as it's going to get because guys aren't going to put on pads anymore and hit each other in an exhibition game. So, I think they nailed it. I think they're good right now. Just having more competition. What they need to bring back, though, the bench press. 225, let the bigs get under the weight, see how many they can do. I miss that.
I think you turn it into pros versus Joes. I think the Pro Bowl just becomes like you get some random people in there and you have them go toe-to-toe with like literally the best players in the NFL. And it's the people versus the players. You know what I mean?
I ain't mad at that.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that.
You can get selected to represent your district, like in the Hunger Games.
Pros versus Joes, one of the greatest shows of all time.
We need it back badly. All right, taking a look around the NFL next.
If you're subscribed to Seattle Sports on YouTube, then you saw this Wyman and Bob digital exclusive first.
Leonard Williams, he's in the final year of his deal. Can you pay him somewhere around top of the market?
He's still absolutely at the top of his game. I don't see any kind of drop-off as far as his age goes going into his 12th year.
Beyond who he is on the field, who he is in that locker room, he's just such a leader and a presence.
The home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube now.
Les Schwab Tires has been proudly serving communities for over 70 years, and we've collected thousands of inspiring stories. Like Kate, who was off on a long road trip with her best friend when the dash lit up like a game show. They find the nearest Les Schwab. Turns out they really needed an oil change. It was done in a flash. Road trip saved. At Les Schwab, we're proud to keep you rolling. Les Schwab Tires. Our greatest story is yours. Stories are composites inspired by real customer feedback.
Ooh, that face. Quantum Fiber Internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Yay to Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum Fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum Fiber Internet blowing the socksies of all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Puget Sound, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Fast Water Heater has spent the last 40 years becoming Seattle's go-to at one position, hot water. Dave Wyman here, and I always talk about how important versatility can be. At Fast Home Services, they've built versatility at every spot in your home's lineup, adding HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. That's Fast Home Services. Call 1-800-THINK-FAST to book your free in-home estimate, or visit fasthomeservices.com for a virtual quote in seconds for water heaters, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical services.
Do you need a new roof? Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and secure $500 off your project this summer. Our technicians build a custom plan to ensure a high-quality roof installation every time. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Every job's different, so why not your equipment plan? Rent it when you need it. Buy it when you're ready. Levitt Machinery makes it easy to get to work. Need a lift? Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
The countdown is on.
11 days.
Until Seahawks training camp on the home of the Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over there at People Come First Construction Group. You know I love my acronyms, PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space for Molly and I, and we just loved it. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. You know, most people who start with a design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer is your first step. Do what we did and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse amazing photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. With People Come First.
Do you owe
owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-900-1717. 800-900-1717. 800-900-1717.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Taking a look around the NFL, we're going to start with some news on the Seahawks sale. The date has officially been set. This from Adam Schefter. The league notified teams today there will be a special one-day meeting on the afternoon of Wednesday, August 26th. This is something Bob Condotta said the date could be. It's going to be in Atlanta. It's expected that then will be the vote on the Seahawks ownership transaction. There's going to be other stuff to watch from those meetings as well. I will say I didn't go further back than the last two sales, but just given that they were so recent, and 23 and 22, unanimous. So you need 24 of 32 owners to approve. I have no doubt this will be unanimous.
Yeah, I mean, you want good ownership, and everything that we hear about this group is that they are exactly that. I trust Jody's decision-making when it comes to it. And there's no reason why it shouldn't. They already have a bit of some experience in the NFL already. It just makes sense.
I think the most newsworthy part of this and why it matters is not even necessarily when owners are going to vote on it, because all of us assume it's going to be approved, but that we have a date when it'll be approved and can expect maybe some press conferences or to actually hear from the new owners after. That, to me, is the newsworthy thing, is like, oh, maybe beginning of September before the season or shortly after this vote at the end of August, we actually get to hear from the new family.
Yeah.
So, something we've been talking about for a while is not necessarily whether or not Aaron Donald would come back, but like, well, when would he come back? And you and I both guessed that, like, second half of the season, try to make a run for the playoffs. Listen to what Peter Schrager says here.
Aaron Donald is not going to come back as some 30-cent on the dollar version of Aaron Donald. He wants to be ready. That's why that workout was going on. He wants to be fully where he was when he retired 2 years ago and wants to be the best version of himself. When I tell you, they haven't even discussed money yet. So that's the secondary part of this. The first part is, does Aaron Donald want to come back? Is he prepared to come back? Is he ready to come back? The Rams would welcome him with open arms, obviously, if the numbers worked out. But this is not going to be one of those deals where it's like week 2, week 3, week 4. No. He wants to go the full season if he comes back, and he wants to be at his best version of himself. So that's why these workouts are happening. I think he's figuring it out himself. Training camp starts in a week. I would imagine we would have more information by then.
That interview on Pat McAfee, what'd you think of that?
Take your time, Aaron. Take your time, buddy. You know.
Take your time.
No, I mean, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. He's over there at the facility practicing, filling his body out. We know he's in good shape, but there's like walking shape and football shape. You can look good, have all those muscles and be good, but you got to make sure those hips and those thighs can fire, man. It's different. But it's going to happen. I was hoping to be mid-season. Week 1, if it goes down, NFL watch out.
Are the Rams taking an unnecessary risk in doing this, or would it be riskier to introduce Aaron middle of the season and not have him, like, ready to go?
I think everyone's different. I think you just got to listen to your body. And I think that if he's not 100% ready to go, he's not going to play. So, yeah, it's case-by-case kind of thing. Some guys can get ready quick. Like, I know a guy who barely have to work out, and he's always ripped and ready to play. Me, on the other hand, I needed like a month to get my body in shape.
Yeah. Bump, we heard this last week, and we had to get your take on it. It's Tom Brady talking about wide receivers requiring, I love this, a lot of emotional energy.
The psychology of receiver, I almost want to say, like, you're going to catch 110 balls this year, okay? You're 17 games. You're a great receiver. You're going to catch 110 balls. One game you're going to get 11, and one game you're going to get 3. And the next game you're probably going to get 11, then you're going to get 3. I can't have you like the happiest guy in the world when you catch 11 or the most miserable guy on the team when you catch 3. We got to look at it over the course of the year. You got to sustain, because it is a lot of emotional energy that you put out to that position to go, come on, we got it. Come on, stay locked in. Let's go, because I need you. Come on. And it's like that position takes away, if you have that volatile emotional output, it takes a lot of energy from a lot of people to keep that player really stable. So you got to like try to reframe it for them and just say, listen, like you may get 3, but you're going to get 11.
Bump, is there anything you'd like to say, even to apologize for on behalf of receivers everywhere?
No, I talked about this last week during 4 down, but we didn't have the sound for it. And he's right. You're number 1 receiver. You are making $30 million a year. You want the ball every single time. And it's the most dependent position in football. So many things have to go right. So that's why there are these ups and downs when it comes to your number 1 receiver. And I hope that you would want him to want the football. But, yeah, receivers got to realize sometimes it's going to be someone else's day. I mean, there are games where JSN didn't have a dominant type of performance. But he's one of the few receivers that are number 1 receivers that wouldn't let it affect him. He understood, look, it's bigger than me. It's bigger than this team. I'm trying to find a game. There's one game he had.
I mean, the Super Bowl was
4
pretty
targets.
quiet.
He had 4 targets against the Minnesota Vikings. He had 5 targets against Arizona with
Offense
4
didn't
receptions.
do anything against Indy.
Yeah, so it is what it is, man. But I understand the receiver and why you have those emotions, because you could run down the field 40 times and not get 1 target. And you get frustrated. But he's right. You got to find a way just to stay locked in. If you're winning ball games, you shouldn't be tripping regardless.
Next up, I want to know what you think about the Falcons quarterback competition and whether or not it's going to sort itself out. This is ESPN's Bill Barnwell.
I do think it starts with Tua, is my instinct. As the year wears on, I think it's going to be more about trying to figure out whether Tua is the answer in the long term, which I don't think he's going to be. And so I do think we're going to see Michael Penix get another shot, maybe when he's a little further recovered from his injury. But I do think when this organization brought in Tua Tagovailoa, it was with the idea that he would be the starter, and I just expect him to be healthier week 1. By the time he gets to midseason, late in the year, I would expect Penix to be the healthier quarterback based on history. So not sure either of those guys are the long-term answer, and the fact that the people who drafted Penix are no longer there means he has less of a hold than maybe his draft pedigree would suggest, but I do think this is going to be kind of a back-and-forth battle throughout the season.
I thought that was an interesting point by Bill at the end, because I would automatically go, well, Michael Penix is 2 years younger than Tua, who's still only 28 years old. And they just drafted him not long ago. But Bill's right. The regime that did that isn't there. Their goal is just to find someone that can help them win for the next couple years.
That's worst case scenario. He's talking about a back and forth during the season. You want a guy to be the guy because the offenses are different. The way they communicate is different. It's crazy they're both lefties. And when's the last time you had a starter in the back of both be a lefty? But you would prefer to have a guy be your guy all season.
Yeah.
And it is going to be a competition. It should be a competition because Penix hasn't done enough and Tua hasn't done enough lately.
Jeremy Fowler has compiled his annual positional ranking. Josh Allen was ranked as the number 1 quarterback. Now, we went over this a while ago. It was during a conversation about Sam Darnold being honorable mention, but I want to instead get back to it and focus on who's at the top. He explained why the former MVP beat out Patrick Mahomes, who came in at number 2.
Josh Allen is the top guy because I would say the fear factor is really thick. Like, if you're a defensive coordinator, he's the guy you don't want to play and game plan against more than really anybody else right now. And I would probably put Matthew Stafford and Joe Burrow right there as well. I mean, of course, Mahomes, but, for his standards, he's kind of had subpar production for the last few years, which opened the door for Josh Allen to step through. The bugaboo on Allen was the turnovers. That's what held him back before. He has curbed that for the most part the last 2 years. Of course, he didn't in that Denver playoff game. He kind of resorted back to his old ways, but you live and die with his style of play for the most part because you're going to be living off it most games because he's going to be winning. And, he didn't have the greatest supporting cast. I had multiple coaches point out, like, hey, when you game plan for the Bills, you're not really game planning for the wide receivers all that much. James Cook's really good, but Josh Allen is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the scouting report, and he still beats you.
Is Josh Allen the best quarterback in the league right now?
Man, that's tough because Mahomes has shown he can do it under pressure. Had a couple down years. I saw Lamar drop to like 60-something when it comes to the top 100 NFL players. It might be Josh Allen. It might be. He's dynamic. I think he took better care of the football last year, if I'm not mistaken. If we're just going off of what we saw recently, we have to look at Matthew Stafford and Josh Allen, right? So I'm going to go out there and say, as of today, he is the best quarterback in the game.
It just feels so weird. We're so used to saying, I have said almost as like a, just like a description, like, well, you're not going to find Patrick Mahomes, as a way to say like that he's a rare talent and is so clearly like the future for the Chiefs, why they've won. He's already won 3 Super Bowls, been to even more. You know what I mean? Like there's just such unprecedented success and celebrity for, his first 8-9 years in the league, whatever it is. I wonder the same thing. Like Josh Allen was constantly seen as number 2. Has it officially been cemented as like, hey, it's Josh Allen's spot to lose right now? All of this is subjective. And I will say that in Jeremy Fowler's list where he asks all these executives and scouts and personnel people anonymously, both Mahomes and Allen had number 1 votes. So there were people in football that had different opinions about them.
Yeah, it's just Josh Allen. He can do it. He can do it all. He can do it all, man. He's a headache when you have to game plan for. Hey, big ups to our guy, Jared Goff, for making the list, too, number 9.
Shout out Jared Goff.
Big
We're
ups.
sorry that we disrespect you so regularly. I want to get to a couple back-to-back Seahawks. Well, I'll say this. I want to get to a football topic, and then I want to talk Seahawks. It's all coming your way next.
30 years ago,
I wanted to be part of keeping the Seahawks in Seattle long term.
3 decades later,
12, they're bringing the trophy home.
2 Super Bowl championship banners hang in the stadium Paul Allen built. Now, a new era of stewardship begins.
Most things that seem impossible become possible.
And we welcome the Kosla family to Seattle. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
We share our used cars. So our used cars are open trade between any store. So the sales managers don't have a problem in saying, yes, that car's available, and then that person from Seattle can come to Kirkland, pick the car up and sell it. It's what's best for the customer at the end of the day.
The LJ way.
If the customer wants to be met in Seattle, then let's figure out how to get that car from Kirkland to Seattle so that customer can come in there and transact. When you're all one team and you've got a great relationship, the other team comes over and helps that team, and then you as the customer don't see any difference in that experience. You're still getting the same service that you want and expect.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Listen every morning to Brock and Salk for Need to Know, powered by Marquee Data. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to learn more.
America's favorite car show returns to Puyallup. Cruise on out for the good guys
organized 38th Griot's Garage Pacific Northwest Nationals. 3 huge days with over 3,000 classics from across the country. Check out the indoor car show and special areas. Vendor Midway Automotive Swap Meet, live music, Saturday night twilight cruising, and more. July 24th through the 26th at the Washington State Fair Event Center. Details at good-guys.com.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
11 days
until training camp for the Super Bowl champs. And nobody has it covered like the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Hey, I'm not one to say I told you so, but do you remember last year when I told you that Pure Talk was hands down the best wireless company that I'd ever used? Well, some of you were skeptical, but Consumer Reports just asked 120,000 people to rate every wireless company in America, including the big boys. Well, guess which company was the only company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. No service contracts, no cancellation fees, just great U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network for a fraction of what you've been paying. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I will encourage you one more time to dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I want to have a football conversation, and then we're going to have a Seahawks conversation in that order. And I want to start with this one. It's not about the Saints. We're not having a conversation about the Saints here, but it's a cut that I really liked from Saints great Cam Jordan, and he's talking about what we kind of get wrong when we're evaluating defensive line play. I want to ask you what you think about it, whether or not you agree, and then I maybe want to expand this to, like, what else do we get wrong when we try to evaluate positions, when we just confidently, and I don't just mean us going on air, but just like as fans, what else do we kind of overlook, undervalue when it comes to the responsibilities or what makes certain position groups great? So this is what Cam said.
I think a sack is an overrated stat.
Is it overrated? What do you think's better, TFL?
Playing the actual game. Winning the game is what's important, but some guys get so caught up in, like, I got to get sacks, and we look at it like, oh, he's the best because he had 19 or 20 or 22 sacks, but he's not worth a damn in the run. But we don't talk about it. He's the DPOY, but he's a liability on the outside zone stretch plays.
Yeah.
He's the best, but he swims B gaps and C gaps, and, like, the linebackers hate him, but you'll never know it.
I have conflicting opinions about this, but I want to know what you think first.
I think it could be both. I think sacks definitely changed the game. There's nothing like a sack on a big third down and the team has to put it on the foot. But if you're sacrificing your teammates for the sack, is what he's talking about, that's where it gets a bit annoying, especially if he says, right, you're supposed to be in the C, you're going to the B, now you have two guys in the gap, the integrity is all jacked up. You're like, if you don't make that play and you hit the wrong gap, a big play could be made by the offense. So I get him, but I also think that 20 sacks from Myles Garrett is 20 sacks from Myles Garrett.
That's where I was stuck, is he throws in, you're getting 19 or 22 sacks every single year is leading the league in sacks.
Yeah.
Unless it's 23, in which case it's a record. But, every single year, and, when I think of who he's hinting at, it's the guy that gets, 9 sacks, and we're like, why'd they let that guy go? And it's like, oh, because he had to kind of sell out or not be super great with assignments or, whatever.
Sacrifice his teammates for them.
Exactly. I don't think Myles Garrett's sacrificing his teammates. I think he just beats people.
Yeah.
I think he just wins.
23 sacks, yeah. Ryan Burns, 16.5 sacks, you're going to take that. Daniel Hunter, 15 sacks, you're going to take that. I think you're right. I think it's the guy floating around 6, 7, 8 sacks that, probably only plays 40% of the snaps, and he's selfish. And that's what it is when you compromise the integrity of your defense for your own individual stat, it's selfish. And it's going to come around and bite you in the butt eventually if you keep doing it. So I think both can be true. You're going to take the 20 sacks. There are some guys who sacrifice their teammates to get those sacks, though.
Maybe the take that it's an overrated stat if you're using it as the end-all, be-all, right? Because there's someone out there who would look at, let's say, Byron Murphy and go, well, how many sacks did he have? And it's like, okay, we're not being honest about how we're evaluating this position here, specifically Murphy and interior guys.
Yeah. I think you're going to take 20 sacks. I mean, you're Myles Garrett, you'll take it. He's legit.
I wouldn't have thrown out that number.
Yeah, Micah Parsons is legit. You're going to take whatever he gives to you.
Unless you're Jerry Jones, in which you say Micah Parsons is selling out because he's not defending against the run.
I think Jerry says a lot of things, though. I think Jerry says a lot to make himself seem right. Interceptions, I think, can be overrated. I think Devin Lloyd had 5. Ernest had 5. Kevin, is it Byard? Is that how you say his name? For the Patriots. I think sometimes you get lucky. Like, you look at Nick Morwarez, he had 1 interception this year. Against Atlanta, he was just where he's supposed to be. Ball gets tipped, you get a gift. I think what should get more attention are passes defended. And that is iffy, too, because sometimes they're not going to throw your way just because you're locking things down. But passes defended is like, I am covering this man. I'm all over it. Mike Jackson had a great year with 19 passes defended. You got DJ Turner with 18 of them things. That stat needs a bit more attention than it typically gets.
Is it because it's not as flashy? Look, I'm not going to lie. If you told me, hey, the Seahawks traded for this guy and he had 8 interceptions last year, I'd be like, whoa.
They're going to be hype.
That's a ball hog. That's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
9 interceptions. Oh, my God, that guy's leading the league in interceptions. This is absolutely insane. It is a stat that's just gaudier, and it is impressive, and there is some kind of skill level that you have to do it.
You got to catch the ball. And you take the ball away from the op. So it deserves – every stat deserves attention, but now you need the context, and that's why you talk to football players and guys like Cam, and they describe situations where – that stat can be inflated a bit, or it's not as sexy as it really looks because you're playing as an individual. But at the same time, that stat could mean a lot. That stat is how guys separate themselves and make money too. It's confusing. I think a stat too that needs more attention are just the number of receptions. I know we look at yards, but the number of receptions I think needs a bit more attention, and catches for first downs. We fall in love with the yards. I get it. 1,700 from Puka and JSN, 1,400. But the receptions, man, because most of the time, receptions are first down, because most of the time, those small receptions are the ones that keep the chains moving and keep these drives alive. So Puka had 129, McBride had 126, Jamar Chase had 125. Now let's go to first downs, receptions for first downs. Puka led with 80. JSN right behind with 79. Jamar Chase with 73. You're going to see some of the same names in it, but say there's that second receiver on your team, and all he does is catches first downs, even
clutch.
Stephon Diggs didn't have a great year, right? 10th in the league with 51 first downs. You just keep the chains moving. That's a stat that if you go down from the big dogs and you look at the mid-tier player, that's how they can add value to
I bet there's a ton of veterans there. I would bet that there's some older receivers in that group.
Keenan Allen, 14.
Yep.
McCaffrey is on that thing.
Great feel, Stacy. Great feel for
this. AJ Brown. Yeah, it's there's okay, you're gonna get your receptions because you're gonna get 100+ targets, but the guy who gets 60 targets and he gives you 45 first downs, you're going to take that all day.
Coming up next, Seahawks stars, a few of them, took a big leap in ESPN's rankings this year. And not even all of them are out. We're still waiting to see where JSN and Julian Love landed in the wide receivers and safeties. What did analysts miss this time last season? And what and who might they still be overlooking? That's next.
30 years ago,
I wanted to be part of keeping the Seahawks in Seattle long term.
3 decades later,
12, they're bringing the trophy home.
2 Super Bowl championship banners hang in the stadium Paul Allen built. Now, a new era of stewardship begins.
Most things that seem impossible become possible.
And we welcome the Kosla family to Seattle. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Longer days, warmer weather, and a stronger you all start at Top Fitness. Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and right now, check out the Top Fitness Big Sale in all 3 of their stores. Every category is on sale. Home gyms, weight plates, dumbbells, treadmills, and stair climbers like I've got. Great deals on display models, too. Have a home gym that needs some help? Get your rubber flooring and all the accessories you need. Get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Thinking about a new roof or exterior upgrade, but worried about the cost? This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We've created our summertime savings event to make it simple and affordable. Save up to $3,000 off your exterior project or get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. And every qualifying GAF roof is backed by our lifetime Golden Pledge warranty. One call gets you started. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
What if I told you a local credit union is giving members up to $30 per month just to make everyday purchases? Dave Wyman here, and when I heard about the offer from Harborstone Credit Union, I said, sign me up. And that's what I did at harborstone.com/cash. You know, I'm not a tech-savvy guy, but opening a checking account was easy enough for me to figure out. I got my PNW Cashback checking account for free, no fees or minimums, and when I make everyday purchases with my Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card, I earn up to $30 each month. My wife loves it when I get cash back on gas, groceries, coffee, travel, and lunch. All categories count towards your cash back. You can even tap to pay. If you live, work, or worship in the state of Washington, sign up for a membership with Harborstone Credit Union and get the PNW Cashback free checking account. Open your free account online like I did at harborstone.com/cash or visit one of their 29 branches across the Northwest.
Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Pests and poor installation have something in common. One call to Eastside Exterminators takes care of both. For more than 50 years, families across Western Washington have trusted Eastside Exterminators to eliminate pests for good and protect homes from crawl space to attic. With dedicated installation services and the state's only smart pest detection technology. From Everett to Federal Way, one call handles it all. 425-482-2271 or visit eastsideexterminators.com. Eastside Exterminators, family first pest control.
When your equipment is down, every minute counts. Levitt Machinery has the parts, technicians, and expertise to get you back up and running fast. Because if it's forked, we fix it. LevittMachinery.com. Need a lift? Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
France and Spain facing off in the World Cup semifinal right now. We're at half. Spain up 1-0. No shots on goal for France yet. Tonight, the AL takes on the NL in the All-Star game. Randy Rosarena is the Mariners' representative. First pitch at 5 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. You know, you're right, Bumpin', that it is list season. It's the All-Star break. Training camp hasn't started yet, though we're only 11 days away, which is just absolutely insane. And so we spend a lot of time looking back on a Mariners first half and then looking forward at what to expect for the Seahawks. I'm leaning on the latter with this one. I have turned so much to Jeremy Fowler's top 10 rankings on ESPN, but I find them fascinating. In part because it's not just Jeremy going, I have an opinion, here's what it is. Mm-hmm. These are people around football, in football, executives, scouts, assistants, coaches, coordinators within football who have these opinions on these players. And I find it interesting that a number of Seahawks have climbed in this list. And I want to ask you two questions here. Number one, when last year Leonard Williams was 6th, now he's 1st, and last year Devin Witherspoon was 10th, now he's 4th, or Byron Murphy wasn't getting an honorable mention, or Gray Zabel clearly wasn't drafted yet, what was the league not seeing when it came to the Seahawks? Like, we're seeing a ton of guys. Last year, Curtis said this, last year we'd be like, oh, Julian Love's in here. It was like you were combing through trying to find Seahawks that were being respected. They're all over these preseason rankings now, so they didn't change. Same guys. What did the league miss?
Well, they won a championship. So
that'll do it.
Once you win, you get more eyes on you, and I think that this was everyone's second year in this Mike McDonald's. Mostly everyone's second year in this Mike McDonald's defense, and it allows you just to play a bit more free. Like, you know your assignment, and when you are completely confident in the game plan and strategy, you go out there and make more plays. And guys develop. Like, Byron Murphy got better. I think even Jay Love at this point in his career, he's getting better. Leo, he got some love last year, but even he is playing at a higher level. I think it comes down to development, understanding what your role is in this defense, and you start to build a reputation. A lot of these lists are reputation too. Mm-hmm. Right? I think the easiest one, I would say the easier list to put together, in my opinion, would probably be top 10 quarterbacks, because you see an elite quarterback, right? Every single week. You don't see Byron Murphy going to work for real unless you just decide to pay attention to him on several plays. You don't see Jay Love just staying on top of a receiver, not allowing a play to get thrown 40, 50 yards down the field. So I think that a few things happen. Guys understand the defense better. They're still developing, and now you have a reputation. Start week 1, analysts are going to be looking at this defense to see how they change and who's doing what. Whereas the last couple of years, it's kind of just like, oh, we'll see what the Seahawks do and figure it out along the way. Now there are expectations. So I expect if this defense plays anything like they did last year, or maybe this offense takes another step, you might even sneak guys in on these lists now because of the reputation they've created.
Why is it so surprising? And I feel like I could guess the answer, but I like talking about it. I don't think the answer is as simple as they were disrespected. I think you're right that there's like it's a completely different year, a new year with Mike Macdonald. Like it does matter that this was new material, and now this coach and his system and what he expects is something that everyone knows. Mm-hmm. Did that buy-in, though, and that understanding of his defense happen sooner than you expected?
No, I think most professionals are going to buy in to what their coaches, head coaches and coordinators are teaching, because if you don't, you will not have a job. They will find someone to replace you. I think that the understanding of the defense and the understanding from these players allow Mike Macdonald to be as creative as he wants to, and put them in position to make these plays and to keep defenses confused. So I don't think it's buy-in. I think it's just understanding. Mm-hmm. The understanding has been taken to a level quicker than I thought. So that's where you got to tip your cap to the coaches, not just Mike Macdonald. He should get all the love because he's the head coach, but his assistants are great teachers, clearly, because these guys understand their roles and in a way that allows Mike Macdonald to continue to be creative.
Let's go to a specific player here. This was a player who, in the top 10 tight end list, did not only not find himself in the top 10 names, but also not an honorable mention. Could A.J. Barner be someone who, like last year, finds himself suddenly on the list in 2027 because of a breakout season?
Oh, yeah. I've been beating on that drum all off season. I think A.J. is on his way to be one of the best tight ends in the game. And I'm not just saying that because he's a Seahawk. I watched film on him. He can do whatever you ask him to do. He can do it. He's a candidate for sure to be a guy who makes a jump and gets on that list. It said Murphy wasn't on the list, right?
He's an honorable mention, but he's not top 10.
Okay, he's going to be a top 10 guy too. Who else is there? I think everyone is set. I think when it comes to returners, I don't know if they're going to make a returners list, but we know we're going to have that on lock with Rashid Shaheed and maybe even Torrey Horton, depending on what they allow him to do. But that's just an example of acquiring the right talent for your offense and your defense, and these guys not being complacent and getting better and better every single year. This is a young man's game. You learn, I think, the first 4 to 5 years in the NFL, these guys mature physically. They're still growing, right? You mature within your offense. You mature within your defense. After that 5 years, it's kind of like, all right, I'm settled into who I am as a football player. Am I declining? How do I use what I know to make the game even easier? That's why Tyler Lockett was able to play for, 12 years or whatever. Say what you want about him getting down. It saved him 3 or 4 years. Look at Deshaun Jackson, small guy. He got to play for a long time. You look at Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan is playing is year 15 or something like that, but he understands his body and the game, so he's able to compete at a high level. You got D-Law, who found the fountain of youth. Mm-hmm. But most of it is just experience. You get these reps and you understand who you are as a player, and that's how you get better after those 5 years, I think.
How do you think Mike Macdonald so I had a different question I was going to ask you, and I do want to get to that. But when you mentioned D-Law found the fountain of youth, was that the Cowboys underestimating what he could still bring, or is it something with Mike Macdonald's defense? Because he was able to get a career year out of Jadeveon Clowney too in year 9.
Well, clearly Mike Macdonald's doing something.
He's doing something.
I said players got to understand themselves at a certain age. The coordinators have to understand who their players are and what they can and can't do, what they're good at and what they're not good at. I think that's something that Mike Macdonald does. And sometimes a change of scenery just gets you hype. D-Law said it. He's coming over here to win a Super Bowl, and he was rejuvenated. That does something to you. It's like when I play a new golf course, I'm just rejuvenated.
Totally. No,
it does something to me. Or
when
maybe
I step foot.
Yeah, what's yours? What's yours? What's yours?
Look, when I step foot into, I was going to say the mall, but you know what I'm thinking of especially?
Target.
No, yes. Yes. There's a new collaboration. It's front and center at Target. There's also this store that sells pens that I really like.
Really? Just pens?
And paper.
Staples?
No. I love stationery. love stationery. When I was little.
Stationery? That's the name of the store?
No, but stationery. It's the name, like paper, pens, pencils.
That's called stationery.
Stationery.
Okay.
I'm obsessed with it. This is not what I meant to talk about. I want to instead get back to a question that matters, that people care about, which is, you mentioned sometimes it takes time. Often it takes time for guys to kind of grow and mature into those roles. And so you can't really begrudge executives around the league for not going, oh, yeah, this guy's going to figure it out, because they might not have the insight that he's about to take the next step. Who else outside of AJ on this team do you think, like, I see a step with this guy? Like, he's kind of continued to evolve, and I don't even think the version we saw last year is like the fully realized version of him.
Robbie Oots. I think he could unlock this offense depending on how Fleury decides to use him. If Fleury does anything like they did with the Niners, they will use the fullback at a higher clip. I think I'm looking at
I thought you'd say Byron Murphy.
Yeah, Murphy for sure.
Iman Wari feels like an obvious one, but he had such a breakout. I'm thinking of like someone who we recognize as good, who isn't recognized around the league, but you're like, man, this guy, he has so much room.
Derek Hall.
That's a great answer.
Yeah. If Derek Hall can take a next step, which he can, he's one of the most athletic dudes I've seen out there, especially at his size, his height, and his weight. 6'3", about 265, 260. And they need him to do that too, because they didn't address the edge during the draft, I don't think. They will have just D-tackle. We got a corner safety. They will, I'm sure they'll bring some guys in to compete, but Derek Hall, if Derek Hall can make that jump.
Do you think he can?
Yeah, I think he can.
What is it about him that makes you think he can?
He's just strong, and his competitiveness is crazy. He plays with an intensity that I don't think people like. Just watch Derek Hall for a series or two. He goes. His motor is going, and at that edge position, you learn more tricks. Right now, he's like a power rusher. He'll get on you, and he'll try to be finesse as well. But if power is your foundation off that edge, the finesse is going to come if you work on it with your hands, your angles, and all that good stuff. I love power as a base for those edge rushers.
Did Boye have the same power, just different player?
I think Boye had power as well, but he was a bit more. He already had a bit more finesse, in my opinion.
Okay, so you're saying that Derek literally has more room to grow.
Yeah,
and that's really exciting.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, I think that's why they were comfortable letting Boye go or not trying to match that contract. One, the money was probably not, what they were comfortable doing, but I think they're looking at Derek Hall and saying we can see him taking another step.
I like that take. The idea that, like, it's certainly not that Boye is a finished product, but it's like, well, there's still so much potential with Derek. Like, this version that you're seeing right here isn't like the fully established version of him. We're so quick to write players off, regardless of league. Like, I just feel like we collectively do this thing where it's like the player I see this year, if I'm not impressed, he's just not good.
1 year, he's done. You got to develop. It's a young man's game, and coaches' jobs are on the line.
There's a timeline on development.
Yeah, so I can understand why some coaches will give a guy 2 years and be like, all right, that's it, especially if you haven't invested a lot of money in him.
Yeah.
You didn't give him $30 million guaranteed. You get that guaranteed money, your leash is going to be a bit longer. But the reason why we move on so quickly is because there's always some 22-year-old coming out of college that is cheaper and is full of potential. So once a coach thinks he has you, figured out, they either love you or they get rid of you.
It's just crazy because we were just talking about the Atlanta quarterback battle with like Tua, who already had kind of like a second wind, competing against Michael Penix Jr. No loyalty with this regime to Michael Penix, who didn't draft him. And it's like, what if Michael Penix finds himself already in a backup role without that room to continue to grow and develop?
Yeah.
I think quarterbacks have more time to figure it out.
They do.
By virtue of the position, backup quarterback being a role where you can still learn so much about the game.
Yeah.
And no one's ever mad at you. If you go in as a backup quarterback and do something, no one's mad at you. They might like briefly complain about you.
Yeah,
but
he's a backup.
Yeah.
What would you expect?
Yeah.
No, quarterbacks got to have way more time to develop. I mean, look at Sam Darnold. Well, he was obviously drafted pretty high, so you're going to get more chances that way too. And that's with any position. If you are a first-round draft pick, you're probably, if it doesn't work out with one team, about two more teams are going to give you another opportunity because of what you did in college.
A couple of people asking about Riley Mills in terms of who can take the jump, who can continue to develop.
Well, that's kind of cheating because he only played like 30-something snaps.
So you're saying like,
he's still a rookie to me.
No. Bump was answering with the purpose of the question, which is, the version of someone we really saw last year. We didn't see a version of Riley Mills last year.
Yeah.
What did we see from Riley Mills? We saw him in 2 games, 3 games. He got a sack, and it's really cool. But that's like me asking Bump, like, what rookie could whatever.
He's still a rookie to me.
But I'm talking about guys that you took the toy out of the box and you kind of forgot about it because it was 2 Christmases ago. That's the guy I want to ask about, where it's like he's not the superstar that Leonard Williams or JSN or Julian Love are, because they're finding themselves on these lists. In fact, they're finding themselves in the top 10, well in the top 10 of these lists.
Mm-hmm.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if JSN was number 1. I don't know that he will be, but like these guys have all climbed several spots. They're guys that are maybe going to enter the conversation next year because that's how close they are to kind of popping.
Yeah.
So
I think AJ's going to be great. I think Derek Hall's potential to be great. I think Riley Mills is going to add something to this defense. And if we can talk about 2 to 3 guys a year and talk about them and having the possibility of breaking out, that means they're drafting well and they're developing. And so far, the last 3 years, we legitimately could say something like that for 2 or 3 guys in this team.
Let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what's something that scared you this weekend? You got scared.
I got scared.
What scared you?
I saw this massive human being practicing with or at the LA Rams facility in Aaron Donald, and that's scary for the league. If he joins Myles Garrett and they team up, they will be crowned the best defensive line in the league, and I won't have too much to say about it. I think that the Hawks defensive line is great. I think if Riley Mills steps up and Derek Hall does his thing, they could be the best defensive line in the game. But automatically, you add Aaron Donald to that team with Myles Garrett, it's going to be crazy. They're already getting a lot of the love. It's deserved, but if that becomes official, you might as well just give the Rams the Lombardi right now, according to the media. You got to go and play the games. We'll see y'all week 16, but that lineup's going to be crazy. Imagine Myles Garrett, Aaron Donald, McDuffie, Watson, Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. Like it's an all-star type of team.
You have multiple defensive players of the year on one team.
Yeah.
You have
an MVP. You have a runner-up for offensive player of the year. Yeah.
You have one of the more underrated run games in the league because everyone else is a superstar. Williams doesn't get, in the scheme itself, doesn't really get to steal the spotlight.
On paper, that is an all-star team. And
how do you beat the Rams then?
You got to play ball, baby. That's why I love football, is because strategy is real in football. If your right tackle doesn't do this well, we're going to attack him. Your center doesn't do this well, we're going to attack him. You have a nickel who doesn't do well against this formation. Like, there are ways that you can game plan to beat teams. Now you got to have your guys go execute. But the Hawks, they're probably not as talented overall as the Rams, but they're not too far off, and they have great coaching. So they can throw hands with anybody.
Why do super teams sometimes not work? Because, God, I'm trying to come up. I get simultaneously annoyed by the nonstop coverage of LA and just kind of like basically giving them the Lombardi right now. But I also understand, right? Like at the same time, I'm looking at Seattle going, oh, where's the edge? Where's the edge? Where's the edge? But we've seen super teams in multiple leagues not work out.
Has there been a super team in football though? Like
what's the
closest?
While ago. I mean, the Chiefs have been favorites and not made it.
But I'm thinking like there hasn't been something like this.
We've seen a powerful team like the 2007 Patriots.
The Rams in 2021.
They had a good one.
Von Miller and Jalen Ramsey.
Well, Gurley just suddenly fell off the face. I think Gurley was injured.
When they added Stafford that season, they ended up winning the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah. What about in you were talking the Super Bowl that they lost against the 49ers, right? Where
no,
it's like
I was talking about the one they
beat
the Bengals.
Oh, okay.
Gurley was on that team in 2018 when they lost to the Patriots.
That's what I thought you were saying, like a super team that never won. Because everyone was talking about the Rams that year. But
yeah, just in general. I mean, it's in football, you can have a Pro Bowler at every position and still take that L. In basketball, you can pretty much guarantee yourself a run to the conference finals. baseball, you can do the same. It's just harder. It's harder in football.
Yeah. Second down. What's something you want to see from the new Seahawks owners?
I just want to see them do nothing when it comes to football and do everything when it comes to enhancing the employee experience, starting with the players. All right, VMAC is about 20-something years old now, almost 20. I was the first team in there in 08, so it was like 18. Just make their house theirs and allow the football people to do football things. Maybe change the cafeteria, update the weight room. I think VMAC is a beautiful place. I don't think it's shabby at all. But compared to other facilities, it could use a little glow up. So they need to hit up Stacy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about the curtains, though. We don't need curtains.
Okay, we don't need curtains. I could add a few plants. Just some accents, decorative accents, I'll say. And again, I stand by the idea of a buffet or a shrimp tower. I think that adds a lot to a space.
It adds a lot. Just update. Make everything modern.
Everything. And then add a shrimp tower. Third down. Should Ernest Jones feel disrespected? Why would he?
Because he wasn't on the top 10 list when it comes to linebackers in this league. And initially, I got offended for him because that's just what I do. I rock about dudes. You look at the list, there's some ballers in that list. And I think that, one, Ernest Jones probably doesn't care too much about that list. But two, if you do care, I hope you care, is keep that chip on your shoulder. I just like guys being overlooked, and I like the love that they're getting as well. But Ernest Jones was third in the league when it comes to interceptions with like 5, and he's a linebacker. Linebackers did great when it came to interceptions last year. So I don't think he should feel disrespected, but I hope that he is, because when he's disrespected, he plays at a different level. I think he's always going to play at a high level, going to be where he's supposed to be. Golazo. But there's something to be said when you feel like you're really being doubted. And this team has been doubted this whole offseason, just crowning the Rams already. So he probably doesn't feel disrespected, but he should. Spain up 2-0.
I've been told to give spoiler alerts for it.
What? Talk radio.
I'll say I respect.
It's happening live.
I'll say this. I respect that there are people who prefer to watch it on delay, and I respect that approach. There's nothing wrong with it. When we have to regularly give updates, I'm not going to say spoiler alert every time. I'm not, because I'm just not going to think about it.
It's not the Olympics, though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But either way.
They don't show a best of World Cup at the end of the night.
I'm just going to have to include them regularly, including when it happens, and I am sorry about that. So if you prefer to not get those updates during the show, then check out the podcast afterwards, is what I guess I would say. But we're going to continue to do the live
So, spoiler alert, Spain up 2-0, baby.
Are you surprised by this?
Yes, I am. Well,
really?
the first goal was a PK. It was a foul. You get lucky with those sometimes. But, we knew Spain was a top dog. Very capable, but I thought France would pull this one off.
Yeah. Fourth down. Earlier in the show, we spoke with Andrew Brandt. Lots of business talk when it comes to the NFL, including new ownership. Anything stand out from that conversation?
Yeah, a few things. How quickly the value of these football teams have been going up like crazy. Just a few years ago, it was $2.2 billion. A team was sold, $4 billion, now $9 billion with these Seahawks. Football is king in this country. He talked about what the owners should be focusing on. He talked about the media contracts. And he also said, I'm sorry, 2-0. Thank you, Weezy. He also said that
when I say that,
the owners should make the players feel valued. And I know some people hate that. Some people hate these whenever athletes are catered to. But in athletics, you got to have an ego, right? You got to feel like you're wanted. When you feel that way, you can get more out of a player. Mm-hmm. Like Sam Darnold. If he didn't feel valued or wanted starting at Minnesota, who knows where his career would be. So I think that's important. They got to get to know their leaders. It's impossible to know everybody. You think when I played, I met Paul Allen?
You guys didn't hang out?
We took a team photo. I didn't even know he was in the team photo. I was taking a knee. I'm like, oh, dang, it's Paul Allen right there. You don't talk to everybody. You talk to your leaders. So you make sure that you clock in with your leaders and you make the important ones feel extremely valued.
I'm on the fence in this way. On the one hand, you don't want to. What happened?
A Jamal score, but it was offsides.
On the one hand, you don't want to hurt the team, and there are toxic egos.
Yeah.
Like, there's a level of ego that's toxic.
For sure.
On the other hand, the reality of professional sports is that even your favorite player has an ego.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to get to this level.
Yeah.
And think about like how often you have to go, those opinions don't matter. I'm the best. I'm great. I'm going to do a good job. Like, you can't just brush that off. You can't be a people pleaser and also succeed as a professional athlete. You're going to be in your head.
You know who doesn't seem like they have an ego, and he definitely has one? Sam Darnold. You think Sam don't walk around thinking that I am the man?
Right. And
you have to be that way.
It doesn't have to be toxic, but exactly, you have to have that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be shocked when teams have to be aware of that and then negotiate kind of around it.
Yeah.
All right, coming up at 1:45, it's What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. Hype Train coming up next.
Exclusive coverage of the sale of the Seahawks on Seattle Sports.
It's caught JSN, drags a defender.
ESPN NFL insider Seth Wickersham.
At the very beginning of the process, people told me that don't underestimate this guy.
With Brock and Salk.
No one seems to know that much about him because most of the people we know are in the sports world.
He's shrewd and smart. They wouldn't describe him as cutthroat, but he's someone who he never loses.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube now.
Longer days, warmer weather, and a stronger you all start at Top Fitness. Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and right now, check out the Top Fitness big sale in all 3 of their stores. Every category is on sale. Home gyms, weight plates, dumbbells, treadmills, and stair climbers like I've got. Great deals on display models, too. Have a home gym that needs some help? Get your rubber flooring and all the accessories you need. Get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing love telling you no. No high-pressure sales pitches. No Band-Aid fixes that will fail come wintertime. No outrageous pricing from some corporate-owned roofing company with headquarters thousands of miles from here. 3 Tree Roofing is local, family-owned, and their team will build you a worry-free plan for your roof replacement, completely free. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and call today to say yes to an additional $500 discount. That's 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Sebastian's shoulder injury was dramatic.
I was snowboarding down a really steep hill. I hit a tree and went straight through it and came out the other side and had torn my shoulder up.
And the pain?
The pain level was probably at a 9 and the shock level was at about a 15.
I can imagine. It even affected the simplest things.
Couldn't even put the seatbelt on in my car.
Instead of surgery, he went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for Stem Cell Therapy, the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
It's way better. I got much better mobility. It doesn't ache as much.
Do you recommend it to people who may be considering surgery?
Absolutely. I got a lot of faith in the way that the science is developing around it, and why not heal your body with your own body?
So whether it's a hip like I had or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, whatever it is, before choosing surgery, go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Les Schwab Tires has always believed that taking care of people is the right thing to do. Today, that means more than trusted service. It means delivering real value, too. That's why we're lowering prices on hundreds of tires without changing the service and expertise you've always counted on. Consumer Reports named Les Schwab the best tire retailer for 2026. We'll keep working every day to earn your trust. See leschwab.com for details.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The countdown is on.
11 days.
Until Seahawks training camp on the home of the Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Hey, Chuck here at Frank Lumber the Door Store. You know our customers have a lot of fun with trying to figure out new and creative ways to use closeout bifold blanks to fill their needs. They can also be used as small double door units, access doors that are pre-hung, and even bypass doors. And with thousands of closeout bifold blanks in stock in Marysville and at our Bargain Barn, you can put your creative DIY mind to work. Come visit our showroom and Bargain Barn in Shoreline or on Cedar Avenue in Marysville. Also, be sure to check us out online at franklumber.com.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
Every summer, homeowners wait too long to find a house painter. There are only a few months left of good weather. Don't be the one left out in the rain. All Covered Painting is accepting a limited number of exterior projects this summer. If you want a licensed contractor that does the work right and backs it up with an industry-leading warranty, don't wait. Now offering a complimentary color consultation with a designer for specific projects. Get your free estimate at allcoveredpainting.com.
Dave Wyman here, brand new member of Harborstone Credit Union, and I got my PNW cashback checking account for free. No fees or minimums, and when I make everyday purchases with my Harborstone PNW cashback debit card, I earn up to $30 each month. Gas, groceries, coffee, travel, lunch, all categories count toward your cashback. Open your free account online like I did. Go to harborstone.com/cash or visit one of their 29 branches across the Northwest.
Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply. This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
What I need to know coming your way in 15 minutes. Get your question. Sports, non-sports, doesn't matter, in now to the text line. 866-979-3776. Let's head to the station for Hype Train. All-Star Game tonight at 5 p.m. You can listen live on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. For the second straight year, a swing-off decides the All-Star Game. MLB would love it.
I would love it, too.
You boarding?
I'm all for it. Yeah, let's get on that thing. Make it interesting. Baseball, do what you do. 5 o'clock, I might watch a little bit of it.
Might tune in for that one.
I'll tune in for it, yeah.
Okay. Bump is aboard this one for the second straight year. Swing-off decides the All-Star Game. Curtis, are you boarding?
That would be some high drama. But I'm not boarding this train. I don't think we get to extras this year. I think it's decided in regulation when Randy Arozarena hits a bomb. So we're not boarding this train, but it'll be a good night. Just trust me on this one.
I am boarding this train. I just think MLB would love for it to happen, and it might.
Can I admit
happen.
something to you guys?
Yeah.
Can I be vulnerable here for a second?
Sure.
Friday I wasn't on the show. You weren't either. But y'all were on my head on Thursday, and something happened, and I was mad that it happened. I was sad that it happened, but I was happy because it made me right when you guys were laughing at me. The Mariners got swept, and I told y'all that was going to get swept.
Oh, my God. Okay, so
I told y'all that was going to get swept.
I almost cut the... Actually, I did. Oh, my God, I did. I cut the audio. We'll listen back during the break. But yeah, you were like laughing about it. You were in a dark place. You were in a really dark, bitter place. Your phone wasn't working. You were probably hungry. The Mariners were getting crushed, and you said, they're getting swept. That's how you said it. And we did say that you were bitter because you couldn't find your phone.
Couldn't unlock your phone. I was conflicted because I was like, I told y'all, but I don't want them to get swept.
I know, but you were right. You were right.
All right.
Next up. Jeremy Fowler's ESPN wide receiver rankings are out tomorrow. We can't wait to react, but until then, this is your Hype Train. JSN will be number 1.
It's out of him and Jamar at this point. Him and Jamar. And Puka's like looking over the fence. Like, don't forget about me, you know? He better be number one. Offensive player of the year. I'm on this train. JSN, best receiver in the game. And he's going to get recognized for it.
Jeremy Fowler's ESPN rankings are out tomorrow, and JSN will be number one. Bump says it's him or Jamar Chase, but I think it will be JSN, so he's aboard. Curtis, are you boarding?
And another unfortunate miscommunication. JSN will be ranked number one, but it'll be as a defensive back.
Oh, because safety's still to come out.
They can never get his position right. He's going to be the number one safety for whatever reason, even though he's never played there. But then they'll have to issue a correction, and he will be the number one receiver. We're boarding this train. He's the best in the world.
I can't wait for the Seahawks to record their first sack and for 2,000 people, including me, to tweet JSN with the first sack of the season for the Seahawks. Or just some random. It continues to be funny to me and will for a while.
All year.
Yeah, I'll board. All aboard. I'm so used to it being the same names, but there seems to be a willingness sometimes when someone has just proven that they're that reliable to adjust certain things. So, yeah. Next up. Sam Darnold breaks into the top 10 of ESPN's quarterback rankings next year. Now, this, unlike our last hype train, we'll have to wait a year to see. So really what you're betting on if you're boarding this train is that Sam changes something important about his play this year to earn even more respect. Bump, are you boarding?
It's a tough one because new offensive coordinator. He was He was honorable mention this year?
First honorable mention.
First honorable mention.
So he's like right outside
If I don't board this train, that means I don't believe in Samuel Darnold. And I believe. So I'm boarding the train.
Tell him.
It might be number 9. It might be number 10.
Might be number 10.
But he gonna get in. Let's go, Sam.
Curtis. Sam Darnold breaks the top 10 of ESPN's quarterback rankings next year. Bump is boarding. Are you?
Man, that would mean the Seahawks have another fantastic season. I think they do. I think he is in the top 10 next year. Sam Darnold will be number 9 in next year's top 10 quarterback rankings. So we're boarding this train.
I'm boarding this one as well, Matt. Yeah, I'll aboard this one.
Let me spice it up a little bit.
Oh. Okay.
Who gets the boot? Who's getting kicked out of the top 10 so Sam gets in?
Remind us
There's
of
like Justin Herbert in there, Drake May, kind of near the back, Jared Goff.
Down at the bottom, like the bottom 5, you got Lamar Jackson.
I don't think it'll be Caleb getting the boot because I think the Bears will have a better season.
Justin Herbert, Drake May, Jared Goff, Caleb Williams.
Maybe Goff or May. May has all the potential
You're
in the world.
You're going to go and disrespect Goff again.
You know what? I'll say this. The Lions have one of the easiest schedules in the league. They're missing players that they've had during more successful seasons. No successful stretches for Detroit. And then Caleb's 10. I have such a hard time believing they'll bump him out of it.
Ooh, it's tough.
You know what it is? I think Drake May might be the victim of a worse record for the Patriots that will knock him out. Tougher schedule, worse record. I think Drake May is incredibly talented. Very curious to see the connection with A.J. Brown, but I don't think the Patriots will have a better record than they did last year. They certainly won't have as easy a schedule.
So
it's a good question, though.
Drake gets the boot? Say it with your chest.
I think it's going to be Jared Goff.
The disrespect continues.
Consistently disrespecting Jared Goff. They tend to favor, I think, younger guys. Like if you're an older veteran that isn't an established MVP type dude, you have to keep proving yourself year after year after year because they aren't going to go, oh, there's room to improve for a 32-year-old. Jared Goff isn't 32, but is he? But for a young guy,
31.
That's what I think. Like with Caleb or Drake, they'll continue to go, well, he has a lot of potential, so we can't knock him out yet. There's room for growth here.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to have to be a slightly older veteran who doesn't have an explosive year. But if Sam doesn't even have to get to and win a Super Bowl, I hope they do. But there's a certain point where if Sam Darnold with the Vikings gets 14 games, with the Seahawks gets 14 wins and wins a Super Bowl, and then let's say the next year gets let's say 12, and then wins, 2 big playoff games. How do you look at that stretch of play and not go, dude, you have to respect it?
All I hear is Jared Goff disrespect.
God. Next up. In a video, this is our last one. In a video posted to his YouTube channel, current free agent wide receiver Stephon Diggs admitted he's probably not a number 1 wide receiver anymore, but he said there's no number 2 better than him. Hype train, there's no number 2 receiver better than Stephon Diggs.
I'll take Rashid Shaheed over Diggs right now. So I'm not on that train because I think he's a solid number 2. I think he's could be amongst the best number 2s, but to say no number 2 is better, that's the delusion that athletes have to operate with. If he doesn't think that, then he doesn't perform at a high level if he gets an opportunity. But nah, I can't ride with that.
Curtis, there's no number 2 receiver better than Diggs. Bump not boarding.
I'm not boarding either. I think the Lions have a really good duo in Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams. I think the Cowboys with George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. The Bengals with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I think you can go down probably about 5 or 6 spots before you land on Stephon Diggs as the best second receiver option in the league. So I'm not boarding this train, Stephon.
Yeah, we were just saying we can't blame athletes for having a lot of confidence in themselves. So shame on me for ever trying to shame Diggs for believing he's the best number 2 receiver. But no. No, I think all of us can name several players that they'd rather have over him. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. Coming up next.
The sale of the Seahawks.
$9.6 billion.
For the future back-to-back champs, I'd hope it'd be $10 billion, but we'll settle with 9, yeah, for sure.
This team in a championship window, does this affect it?
No. The important pieces are still here. Sam Darnold, Coach McDonald, JSN.
Please be like your predecessor. Totally committed to this team to do whatever it takes to win.
That's all we care about, brother.
Coverage continues on the home of the Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Dave Wyman here, and the folks at Bellevue Rare Coins say higher prices have enticed more Americans to cash out their jewelry, gold, and silver items. Here's a story from a real customer. She walked into Bellevue Rare Coins with an old bag of jewelry, a little bit nervous, a little bit embarrassed because it was mostly old tangled chains and pieces she hadn't looked at in years. When they gave her the total, she couldn't believe what it was worth. Go see what your jewelry is worth with a free consultation. Bellevue Rare Coins is now in Linwood, Issaquah, Tacoma, and Bellevue.
When I'm catching up with friends or family, C-Star Restaurant and Raw Bar in Bellevue, it's where we go. A welcoming atmosphere, and I get to see my good friend, Chef John Howie.
Hey, thanks, Brock. At C-Star, we're known for fresh local seafood, unmatched hospitality, and great value. Right now, enjoy a 3-course dinner in the lounge every night, starting at just $50.
$50. You cannot beat that value these days, and it's only with Chef John Howie at CStarRestaurant.com, CStarRestaurant.com.
Cool cars, cool people, good tires. It's the Good Guys 38th Griots Garage Pacific Northwest Nationals, a giant car show featuring over 3,000 of the Northwest's finest hot rods, muscle cars, classic trucks, and more. Enjoy live music, a free family fun zone featuring the Auto World model car make and take, and earth-shaking Nitro Thunderfest and more. Happening July 24th through the 26th at the Washington State Fair Event Center in Puyallup. Details at good-guys.com.
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today, like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime true crime.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More. Fast internet.
Internet speed's got the geeks to go big. Bring 'em the game
right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop. His quantum fiber's on top. Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service, and speed in select locations only.
Protecting workers' rights is the goal! Thousands of workers will help power the excitement of Seattle's Summer of Soccer from June 11th through July 19th. If you're working in hotels, stadiums, restaurants, security, temp jobs, or app-based delivery, you have rights. From wage theft to minimum pay, the Seattle Office of Labor Standards wants you to know that you are protected. Call 206-256-5297 or visit seattle.gov/labor standards.
The countdown is on.
11 days.
Until Seahawks training camp on the home of the Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Cascade Machinery and Electric is the Northwest's trusted industrial equipment expert, and they're hiring outside sales reps, manual and job shop machinists, and field service technicians now. Each position offers competitive pay, full benefits, and a career with a company that values hard work and loyalty. Come join the team that has set the standard in industrial sales and service for over 100 years. Visit cascade-machinery.com/careers. Don't wait. Apply today.
Hey, Mike Salk here, and summer's here at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. You can check out upcoming shows like the Pop 2000 Tour with Chris Kirkpatrick of NSYNC, O-Town, Ryan Cabrera, and LFO on August 1st, or relive the 80s with pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th. You can find tickets at snocasino.com and the full lineup, plus experience luxury with breathtaking Cascade views, world-class dining, and play your favorite games. Elevate your next getaway. That's Seattle's closest, Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Summer is for letting it rip.
Swung on and missed, ripped it right by it. 7 scoreless innings. Marvelous Miller again.
Summer is for showing out.
Swing and a miss. Woo, 6 up and 6 down.
Summer is for Mariners baseball.
Logan Gilbert, he's knocked down a dozen in a row.
So pump your fist, call your favorite Walter, and head to T-Mobile Park because our pitchers are rolling. From George Kirby to Senor Smoke.
Up in the attic at 101. Nothing but the express tonight for Andres Munoz.
Matilda would be proud. Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
The Mariners are back in town this weekend for a West Coast showdown against the San Francisco Giants, including 2000's Fireworks Night this Friday, presented by T-Mobile. Plus, don't miss a 3-game series against the Cincinnati Reds with value games on Monday the 20th and Tuesday the 21st. Get your tickets today at mariners.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions into What I Need to Know. Any questions, sports, non-sports, doesn't matter. 866-9793-776. And the reason I say sports or non-sports is this one's kind of about sports, but not really. They want to know if you ever got into a physical fight on the football field.
At practice, not during a game.
With who? What happened?
It was a teammate. I was actually in the league, and we're doing a drill, and I was like 50% speed, you know what I mean? And there's a code you live by. You take care of your teammates, but me and this dude never liked each other. And he went hard on me. I go, hey, that's not the tempo we're going. Then he did it again. I said, one more time, bro. And he did it again, so I grabbed him, pulled him down by the face mask, gave him a couple to the ribs.
Whoa!
But, the defense was on my butt, though, so he jumped on me so quick. But we were cool like a week later.
I think I might respect that a receiver hit first.
Especially, I'm an undrafted dude. He was he was testing me. He was like,
that's the guy you want on your team. Well. That's the guy you want on your team. I have never been in a physical fight. Next question. Do you think the Hawks can get 14-3 this year? What do you guys actually believe in? I'm assuming they mean like record-wise.
Yeah.
What are you actually predicting?
It's going to be tough. They can do it. But, man, they have such a tough schedule. The more I look at it, the more I'm like,
I don't think that they'll get 14 wins again. I hope I'm wrong, but I think absolutely. Like, when I saw the 13-4 prediction that Bucky Brooks had for the Rams, I was thinking, well, why not Seattle? Mm-hmm. Like, I could just as easily see Seattle getting 12 or 13 wins.
Yeah.
Now, the Rams, I completely understand. They're a powerhouse right now. They're the team everyone is already talking about. Mm-hmm. But I don't think Seattle I don't think the personnel that Seattle lost in an obvious way cuts their win total in half, cuts 4 or 5 wins off. Biggest question mark for me is that running back room.
Running back and offensive coordinator.
Yeah. What I need to know, what was the bigger media faux pas? JSN's misidentified position or Ichiro's bent bat at the statue unveiling?
Bent bat.
Oh, I think it was JSN Defensive Player of the Year.
I say bent back because my man has retired. Is he in the Hall of Fame yet? He's in the Hall of Fame, right, Ichiro?
Mm-hmm.
A Hall of Famer.
Was robbed
that
of
moment. That
decision.
moment has to be perfect. With JSN, from what I understand, the NFL doesn't really handle that. They just like send the information out, and there's a company who does it themselves, and they don't know what the heck's going on. They're just putting on the trophy what was sent to them.
The bent bat was ominous, and the JSN thing was funny, but the JSN, the typo on his award broke containment. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't listening to national sports podcasts talking too much about the Ichiro bent bat, whereas like everyone had jokes about JSN as defensive player. Like the NFL looked a little not
silly.
bad, but they looked silly for a good 48 hours. JSN. 866-979-3776. Someone has a request rather than a question. They said, I'd actually love a segment from Bump going into all the reasons he thinks A.J. Barner's going to take off. The analysis would be appreciated. I'm wondering how he is with motion and tricking defenses. You could start to answer a little bit and then
Always do it
request
tomorrow.
for a video.
I'll do it
segment tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I will say Bump has said this multiple times, and it's part of why I included A.J. Barner as part of that, is he's been on the hype train of A.J. Barner's going to have a breakout year. Bacon on a maple bar, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can do
But
without
it's better. It's better without.
It's better without.
It's better
but
without.
I can do with though.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it that it's on there. I think donuts are fine.
It's kind of like dipping your bacon in syrup, maple syrup.
Ew.
What do you mean, ew?
But it's better without maple syrup on it.
Yeah, but it's there. You can do it. It's not bad.
Is it? I don't want that. I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
Sorry, you can't dip it into brie on your pancakes,
Okay, first
Stacey.
of all, I would never dip bacon. You know what? Bacon and brie actually probably does taste better, Curtis, than bacon dipped in maple syrup.
No, it doesn't.
But either way, it's not like the worst
You're
thing
about
if it
to
gets
get a lot of hate on the text line for this.
in the 20 seconds when this actually like airs, minus the delay. I don't think so. I think that you guys misunderstand brie. I get a lot of hate for liking pumpkin spice. I get a lot of hate for liking brie. I get a lot of hate for throw pillows. And all of
Not
these
everything
things,
can be a charcuterie board, Stacey.
they're amazing. All of these things are good things that you guys are pretending you don't like. You're pretending you don't like it. Brie is great. Cheese is great.
It's not. I could really
Cheese is phenomenal.
take it or leave it with brie.
First of all, I didn't say I could take it or leave it with bacon. I just said bacon is perfect by itself or with eggs. I don't love the maple syrup edition.
It's fine. Maple syrup. It's good. Yeah.
866, rename the show Bump and Bougie. I knew that I'd have Mitch in Tacoma texted, what's brie? 866-979-3776. What I need to know, should the Mariners buy or sell?
Buy.
Yeah. I don't know what the market's going to look like, but
buy something. You know, when you go in the store, you're like, I'm leaving with something though. I'm buying something.
do I know that feeling?
That's how I want the Mariners to be.
Yeah, it's just leave with something.
We leave with something.
I don't care if you grab a lamp on the way out, but
Get
ideally
like a
it's
$90 trash can.
Yeah, the dollar section. Ideally, it's a right-handed bat, adding some leverage to your bullpen.
You know what gets me? Like when I travel and I go to Ross, just pick up some socks or something.
Mm-hmm.
The little knickknacks they have as you're walking to the register, you know how they like enclose you and they have all these little things like charger there and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I always get something.
Every time. We answered a question yesterday about what mascot we would eat. Joe in Bellevue says, what mascot would Bump eat? You didn't get a chance to answer because you weren't here.
Chicago Bull.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Beef,
Yeah.
Some beef.
That's definitely the most normal one.
Yeah, that is. We didn't even think about it.
Yeah, we didn't. We just were thinking of like all the predator animals.
All the bird animals.
We were
too.
going apex predators. Like, okay, would you have a tiger?
Would you have a raptor?
Would you eat a lion? No, I wouldn't have a raptor. And nor would I eat, frankly, the tiny birds. Orioles. Cardinals. Blue Jay. No, like that. Something about that feels dirty.
We did say, though, we'd eat an Anaheim duck.
We did.
Yeah.
I've had duck before.
Yeah. And
what about
Bronco? Oh, that's weird. No, I take it back.
Dang.
No, I'm sorry.
You got excited about that one, too.
Because I was thinking of farm animals. I take it back. I was thinking of farm animals, and I just got excited.
Eat a ram?
Yeah, I think
sure, yeah, ram for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I didn't mean. I take back what I. No. I just was so excited to think of another farm animal. I take it back. No, I would like to stress that I don't want to eat a Bronco.
This still isn't Stacy's worst food take. That's the scariest thing. This isn't the worst food take she's ever had.
It's pretty bad. I was like, I found one too.
Stacy thought the question is, what kind of car do you drive?
I can hear Matt laughing in a soundproof control room. Oh, God. God, I was still thinking of animals. This question got us yesterday because we just spent the entire time thinking of mascots. And then the rest of the text line was sending in mascots for the rest of the day. I was thinking about it for a long time afterwards. Wyman and Bob coming up next.
I think he's a solid number 2. I think he's could be amongst the best number 2s.
If you're subscribed to Seattle Sports on YouTube, then you saw this Wyman and Bob digital exclusive first.
Leonard Williams, he's in the final year of his deal. Can you pay him somewhere around top of the market?
He's still absolutely at the top of his game. I don't see any kind of drop-off as far as his age goes going into his 12th year.
Beyond who he is on the field, who he is in that locker room, he's just such a leader and a presence.
The home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube now.
Longer days, warmer weather, and a stronger you all start at Top Fitness. Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and right now, check out the Top Fitness big sale in all 3 of their stores. Every category is on sale. Home gyms, weight plates, dumbbells, treadmills, and stair climbers like I've got. Great deals on display models too. Have a home gym that needs some help? Get your rubber flooring and all the accessories you need. Get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Need a lift? In your business, equipment downtime is not an option. With parts in stock and factory-trained mobile technicians, Levitt Machinery is here to get your business back up and running. From forklifts to telehandlers, aerial lifts to track loaders. Trust Levitt Machinery to lift you back up and get your equipment back to work. Because at Levitt Machinery, if it's forked, we fix it. LevittMachinery.com. Give us a call today. Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
So you need to have a system where if a customer wants to transact online, shop their vehicle, find their vehicle, fill everything out, and do as much paperwork even online, and buy the car online, and then come in at an appointment time so they can be in and out in an efficient time, hey, my target goal is an hour. If you want to take half those steps, just know that, you're going to have another hour of transaction and paperwork, and then you're going to have roughly an hour of delivery. Some people even want more than that because it's a lot of technology. So it's making it available so a customer that wants to go 25, 50, or 100% meet them there where they want to be. If you want to take all these steps, I can meet you there.
The Johnson Auto Family. The LJ Way.
Pests and poor installation have something in common. One call to Eastside Exterminators takes care of both. For more than 50 years, families across Western Washington have trusted Eastside Exterminators to eliminate pests for good and protect homes from crawl space to attic. With dedicated installation services and the state's only smart pest detection technology. From Everett to Federal Way, one call handles it all. 425-482-2271 or visit eastsideexterminators.com. Eastside Exterminators, family first pest control.
Look, I need to be real with you for a second. At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families cannot afford the food their kids need to heal. Think about that. A child recovering from surgery, learning to walk again, and the family is struggling to put food, nutritious food, on the table. That's why Safeway and Seahawks, Jackson Smith and Jigba are launching the Food First Project, a multi-year initiative to fight pediatric food insecurity right here in our community. This is not someday maybe talk. This is grocery cards, produce vouchers, and food as medicine programs going directly to families the moment the need is identified. No barriers, no red tape, just help right now. They're funding vitamin D screenings, nutrition support for student athletes, rehabilitation feeding tools, and meals for hundreds of families staying inpatient at the hospital. I love what Safeway and Seattle Children's are doing, making a real difference where it matters most. JSN showing up. Now it's our turn, 12s. Put food first. Learn more at Safeway.com.
Hey, Chuck here at Frank Lumber the Door Store. You know our customers have a lot of fun with trying to figure out new and creative ways to use closeout bifold blanks to fill their needs. They can also be used as small double door units, access doors that are pre-hung, and even bypass doors. And with thousands of closeout bifold blanks in stock in Marysville and at our Bargain Barn, you can put your creative DIY mind to work. Come visit our showroom and Bargain Barn in Shoreline or on Cedar Avenue in Marysville. Also, be sure to check us out online at franklumber.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores.
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA.